It's your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFMC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. Nobody in Kansas City has sports like 96.5 The Fan.
Right side throw, touchdown! Kansas City! A 3-yard touchdown pass in overtime. Kansas City wins the game.
Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
Back-to-back best sports talk hosts as voted on in the Pitch magazine.
Live from the Fan Studios. Here's CDOT.
Let's do this. Another day, another dollar, another edition of The Drive. You are listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. We got a lot to get into in this Red Friday, so let's get to it. Coming up in about 15 minutes, we are going to be joined by James Palmer of Bleacher Report. He also is the co-host of the Scoop City podcast with The Athletic. Coming up at the top of the 3 o'clock hour, Kevin Bowen, who covers the Indianapolis Colts for 107.5 The Fan, will be on the show. Nate Taylor of ESPN is going to be in studio coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. We'll take your phone calls. We'll read your texts. We got a lot to get into with a very important regular season game for the Kansas City Chiefs. You guys know the phone number. 913-586-7965. One more time, that's 913-586-7965. Before we get into the top story of the day, I need you guys to do me a couple of favors. Number one, I need you listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan. Number two, I need you to tell one friend to check out the show. Someone said, Carrington, why don't you ask us to tell 2 people to check out the show? I told you guys, you're going through a lot right now. Your football team ain't doing a whole lot of winning right now. Maybe you're a KU fan. Your team might not be going to a bowl game. Maybe you're a K-State fan. Your team might not be going to a bowl game. I don't want to ask too much, okay? I don't want to do that. So just for right now, just tell one person to check out the show. That's it. You don't got to tell 2. Just tell one person to check out the show. And you know what? I'd really appreciate that. And number 3, and most importantly, I need you guys to remember that every single day, the open of the show is brought to you by our friends over at The Other Place. So if you're looking for a place to watch K-State's game coming up later tonight against Nebraska, if you're looking for a place to watch some college football, if you're looking for somewhere to watch Kansas City and Indianapolis on Sunday with some great food specials and great drink specials while the game is going on, then go see our friends over at The Other Place with 5 great locations. This is where I would like to start today's show. A very simple, what I think this game means for both sides. Because this game, to me, has a different level of importance, but is still very important for both Kansas City and Indianapolis. Let's start with Indianapolis because to me, what it means is so much more straightforward than it is for Kansas City. In regards to Indianapolis, if they win this game, it will be hard for anybody to convince me that Indianapolis cannot win the Super Bowl. Now, will they go? I don't know. Maybe Denver will. Maybe New England will. But if you look right now at the power structure of the AFC, this is as weak as Kansas City has been in quite some time. This is as weak as Buffalo has been in quite some time. And the same thing for the Baltimore Ravens. We have talked about the difference in old money and new money teams, how you have the old guard, those 3 teams that I just mentioned. And now you got the 3 teams, whether it is Indianapolis, Denver, or those teams now looking to make the Super Bowl or make a deep run. I mean, one of those teams is going to end up representing the AFC. Somebody has to go. So maybe it is Drake May this year. Maybe it is Bo Nix. Maybe it is Daniel Jones. Let's see how the rest of the season plays itself out. But everybody acknowledges the level of importance that this game has for the Kansas City Chiefs. It is on the road. It is in the fall. This is go time for everybody around the National Football League. And if the Indianapolis Colts go on the road and win Sunday in Arrowhead, knowing how important this game is for the Kansas City Chiefs, it will be impossible for anybody to sell to me that Indy is not a true and legitimate Super Bowl contending team. I know that the jury is still out when it comes to Indianapolis, and I know that people are still waiting for the other shoe to drop when it comes with them. I mean, this is a team that lost on the road earlier this year to the Rams. This is a team that lost on the road earlier this year to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like, if you want to find reasons to poke holes in what the Colts have accomplished so far this season, I don't think you need to look too hard to do it. If you go on the road and beat a very desperate, gotta have it Kansas City team with their back up against the wall, it will be impossible not to tip your cap to the Colts and give them credit for what they have been able to do. And it puts them in a very good position to be the 1 seed and put them in a position where the AFC Championship game has to go through them. A team that runs a football effectively, a team that has great skill position players, a team that appears to be well coached with a good defense. I think the Colts have proven themselves to be the best team in the AFC so far this season. Let's see if they can validate that on Sunday on the road against Kansas City. Now, let's talk about what this means for the Kansas City Chiefs. This is a playoff game. It's really that simple. We all know the formula, and we'll get to the formula here coming up more in just a bit, but everything that we said last week applies now to Kansas City. Gotta have it, must win, need it kind of game. And I'm sorry, you can't convince me that a team that is 5-6 at Thanksgiving is now going to rattle off 6 consecutive wins. It don't work that way. We have been waiting for this team to turn on the light switch all season. Man, the time is now. There is no tomorrow. There is no waiting. You are running out of time to get this thing going, and there is no better time than the present. This is a home game against a good team to show everybody that you still got it because the public believes that you still have it. We've talked about it. The Chiefs are potentially 8 days away from completely turning around their fortune as a team. They're 5-5 right now. I understand that morale might not be the highest, but if the Chiefs figure out a way to win on Sunday, if they figure out a way to win on Thanksgiving against the Cowboys, and now they're going into an extended period of rest up, and get ready for those final games of the season, and 3 of those 5 games are at home, confidence will be right back. Hey, the Chiefs are back. Hey, you have the Chiefs down, and look, we turned things around. The Colts have a chance to do what no team has had the opportunity to do during the Patrick Mahomes run. They have a chance to lay the fatal blow to the Kansas City Chiefs. It's really that simple. There have been teams that have tried, and there have been teams that, this team, no. The Indianapolis Colts have a chance to end the 2025 season, in my opinion, of the Kansas City Chiefs if they go on the road and win this game. The Chiefs know it. I know it. Everybody knows it when it comes to it. So to see Kansas City with their back up against the wall, I want to see how they respond. I want to see the Chiefs play a more disciplined brand of football. You can't have the turnovers in the red zone against this team. You got to be diligent with your front four and stopping the run because you know Indianapolis is not going away from running the football. This is not a game in which Jonathan Taylor gets 12 carries. No, this is a game in which Jonathan Taylor gets 21 carries in this game because Indianapolis has an identity and they are not afraid to lean into who they are as a team and as an organization. So that's it. That's what this means and who it means it for in this matchup between Kansas City and Indianapolis. Now, let's talk more specifically about the Chiefs and the playoff formula. Seems very, very simple to me now after watching Thursday Night Football. We'll talk more specifically about Buffalo and Houston. We'll do that with James Palmer here coming up in about 5 minutes or so. There are, I would say, 3 groups of games for the Kansas City Chiefs. We don't need to really spend any much time talking about 2 of the games. They got a game on the road against Tennessee, and they got a game on the road against Las Vegas. I don't care what is going on in that scenario. You cannot lose to either one of those teams and tell me you are making the postseason. Not with the urgency, not with where you are right now. I know mathematically they could lose to one of those 2 teams, but at this point, no, that's unacceptable. You cannot lose to Tennessee, who's going to have a top 5 pick, and a Raiders team that is a bad football team, and it is basically going to be another home game for Kansas City because 70% of the crowd is going to end up supporting Kansas City. You cannot lose either one of those games and make the postseason. I'm sorry, it don't work that way. I would put the Cowboys game in its own category. It's just weird. We just saw on Thursday Night Football. Thursday Night Football is just weird. Road team, short week, Thursday Night Football, and now you sprinkle in Thanksgiving, and knowing the importance that is for the Dallas Cowboys organization and franchise, we're talking about an American staple, the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. It's just weird. I think you have to put that game in its own category. So you got 3 games on the road. 2 are automatic gimmies. Cannot afford to lose to Tennessee. Cannot afford to lose to the Las Vegas Raiders. The Cowboys game is its own entity, but there is a reward on the other end of it. If you figure out a way to win that and you get the weekend to rest up and then you get 10 days heading into a home game against the Houston Texans, the feeling that is that the Chiefs are back. That'll be the feeling. The feeling will be that the Chiefs are back. And then you got the 4 home games starting on Sunday: Indianapolis, Houston, Denver, and Los Angeles. They need to go 3-1 in that stretch. Maybe the Chiefs end up pulling off a 4-0 in that stretch. I think it's a little bit unlikely. I mean, I'm just looking at the National Football League. I don't think there's any team in the National Football League that will play these 4 teams and win all 4 of these games. I think they're coin flips. And I'm sorry, the Chiefs have not earned the benefit of the doubt to have the expectation that they are going to be perfect in these coin flip kind of games. Maybe last year, maybe 2 years ago, they have not earned that benefit of the doubt in 2025 that these 4 games against possible playoff teams, a couple of them I would consider lock playoff teams. Indy certainly is a lock. Denver is a lock. I think the Chargers are probably going to make the postseason, and Houston probably not going to make it. But we got enough evidence to tell you that Houston's defense is really good and that Houston is going to play spoiler for somebody. Houston plays 2 games against Indianapolis, 1 game against the Chargers, and 1 game against Kansas City in the final 7 weeks of the season. Houston is not going 0-4 in those games. So either they are going to spoil the 1 seed for the Colts, they are going to spoil the playoff chances for Kansas City, or they are going to spoil the playoff chances for the Los Angeles Chargers. You pick which category you think they fit in, but I'm telling you that is going to be the case with this Houston Texans team. They are too good defensively to go 0-4 when it comes to those matchups. And then you got the 2 games in the division with Denver and Los Angeles. So you got to go 3-1 in that stretch, which I think is very, very possible when you look at these 4 games at home in the winter. Got to have them go time kind of games. You got a Thursday night football game coming up on Thanksgiving against the Cowboys. That is anybody's guess. Thursday night football is just weird. We've seen it happen time and time again. And then you got absolutely 2 gimmies at the end of the season with Tennessee and Las Vegas. If you lose either one of those games, what are we talking about? It's time to start getting ready for the NFL draft. Coming up on the other side, we'll be joined by James Palmer of Bleacher Report. We'll get his thoughts on what happened last night on Thursday Night Football and also look to Chiefs and Colts. That's coming up. Keep it right here. So Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, a show that prides itself on getting it right.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5, The Fan.
Feeling lucky? Then Saturday, November 29th is your night because luck is alive at Harrah's Kansas City during the night of 101 winners. We're handing out a massive $120,000 in free play and cash. That's $1,000 every 5 minutes. 101 winners, and you could be one of them. Want to stack the odds? Play on Wednesdays in November and earn 10 times the entries for even more chances to strike it lucky. Only at Harrah's Kansas City, where winners are made. 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth a little more.
I'm worth a lot more.
I completely agree. You are worth more, and your car's worth more, and we want to pay more at GiveMeTheVin.com for good cars, because they are worth more, and so are you. And remember, if I don't beat the price on a CarMax or a Carvana deal, I'll pay you $100. For top price, trust, and ease of transaction, GiveMeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Bring tournament energy to the regular season with an NBA Cup OzBoost token from BetMGM. The token is already waiting for you in your BetMGM account. So simply visit your promotions page and add an NBA Cup bet to your bet slip. Activate your token, and if your bet hits, you'll score extra winnings. BetMGM is the place to shoot your shot all season long. New this year, BetMGM has improved its app to include dark mode, a brand new rewards hub, and matchup and market insights for your bets. Head over to your BetMGM account today and grab your NBA Cup Odds Boost token to score a bigger payout if you win. Make it a tournament to remember with BetMGM, authorized gaming partner of the NBA.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and may expire in 1 to 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Hey folks, I've got a couple of important questions for you. Do you know how much money you need to retire? Do you have a plan in place for your loved ones? If your answer is no, it's time to get your financial planning on track with UMB Private Wealth. It's never too late to start. Plus, their team supports you at every step of the planning process. Go to umb.com/private wealth to schedule your appointment. That's umb.com/private wealth. Why not start today?
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
The guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, president of Leaf Filter, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
What's up? It's Draymond Green. I'm back for my 14th NBA season, and my podcast, The Draymond Green Show, is back too. This season, I'm breaking down games, reacting to the biggest NBA stories, and sitting down with teammates, rivals, and culture shapers. And trust me, I'm not holding back, on the court or on the mic. 2 new episodes every week. New segments, big conversations, real basketball talk for the real hoop heads. Listen to and follow The Draymond Green Show wherever you get your podcasts. We're back, we're better. Let's get it.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Juju Smith-Schuster from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome back into The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. Very happy right now to be joined by James Palmer of Bleacher Report. Also, be sure to check him out on the Scoop City podcast, longtime friend of the show. James, happy to have you back on this week, my man.
We said we'd do it, and here we are.
Absolutely, man. Happy to have you on the show again. So let's start with this. We'll get to Chiefs and Colts here coming up in a little bit, but we got to talk about Thursday Night Football yesterday. I guess twofold. Let's start with Buffalo. Man, everything was laid out for this team to have the 1 seed in the AFC. If I had told Buffalo, hey, Kansas City's going to be 500 around Thanksgiving time, Baltimore is going to be doing the exact same thing, and you're not a shoo-in for the 1 seed, every Buffalo would have said, hey, something's gone terribly wrong, and that's where we are right now. And then on the other end, I don't think Houston's going to make the playoffs, but they're going to make the playoffs really uncomfortable for somebody else. They're going to knock off 1 or 2 teams here with that defense down the stretch.
Yeah, Houston's defense is no joke. I mean, we saw how fast they are on all three levels, and this isn't a surprise. Like, you talked about some surprises. That defense is no surprise. And I actually give a lot of credit to D'Amico Ryans for handing over play calling to Matt Burke, who's a really good DC, and kind of took a little something off his plate as a head coach and let Matt kind of cook. And that group is so talented on all three levels. Everybody saw it Thursday night, and, you win 3 games with Davis Mills. Like, everybody was curious what was going to happen down in Houston. You got to remember, like, Chiefs fans know this. I mean, they took that game in Kansas City at Arrowhead, beaten like nobody's business in terms of injuries, and it was a game for most of the time in the postseason. They've gone to the postseason both years with C.J. Stroud. Now, they changed things offensively, and that's taken a long time to get going, and the offensive line's been an issue. But there kind of could be, you're right, a thorn in the side of the rest of the AFC. I mean, they still have the Colts twice. They play KC in a couple of weeks. Like, they play the Chargers towards the end of the season. So, like, they could kind of be spoiler, but at the same time, I wouldn't rule out a little run here and have a chance to get in. They're part of that group that we're kind of focused on right now. Between them and Jacksonville are right there head to head. Jacksonville's 6-4. I mean, they're right behind them, and Buffalo's in that mix, and the Chiefs and the Ravens are in that mix. That whole group, I guess you throw the Chargers in there, is going to be fascinating to watch. But with Houston having some of these games ahead of them, they do have a chance to just kind of shift the landscape of the AFC. And, with Buffalo, it's been the same thing all year, honestly. They can't stop the run. And if they don't run the football effectively to start the game and they get behind, Josh tries to do too much, tries to play off script. It's very similar to what's going on with Patrick Mahomes, in that, the plays beyond the X's and O's are becoming so vital in both these quarterbacks' minds to try to make their offenses go when they're disjointed and not working. And oftentimes, you see it not really come to fruition. We're not used to it with both guys, but this year we're seeing it happen to both of them a little bit, and their hero ball is tough to come by with the way the rest of their teams are playing.
I feel like what's happened with Houston was exactly what happened with Cincinnati a couple of years ago. That Houston, they start 0-3, they dig themselves in a hole, and then they get hot the second half of the season, and then they potentially run out of a lot of time. As you just alluded to it, they're going to be a thorn in somebody's side, but when you just create a 0-3 hole, and now you got to go on the road and beat a Kansas City, you got to go on the road and beat a Los Angeles Chargers, just really hard to make the playoffs that way.
It's really hard, and this whole is a bit of a, it's a bit of an issue, obviously, that they did. But I commend Houston, honestly, for going about this the right way. I mean, because everybody was like, "You're going to go and trade who? You're trading Laramie Tunsil, the best offensive lineman in your building," and that was, from what I was told, a great for the greater good. It was, we want that room to be different. We want the culture of that room to be different. Laramie was not putting it in the direction we wanted, and we're going to regroup it, and we want it to be a lot like our defensive line. We don't care if it takes maybe a year, but we're really going to try to build this thing for the long haul because we have such a great nucleus of young talent. And that kind of impacted, obviously, the start of the season. And C.J. wanted more on his plate as a quarterback and less just completely everything dialed up for him like it was with Bobby Slowick. So when they made the offensive coordinator change and the offensive line change, certainly there was going to be growing pains at the beginning of the year. I think this is something, though, that benefits Houston over the next 2 to 3 seasons, and they're going to be a much more difficult out probably in 26. But you're right. Huge thorn in anybody's side is nobody wants to play this defense. I mean, nobody does. I mean, they're so fast. They're coached so well. They're so disciplined. They're so good on all 3 levels. 2 dominant corners, really quick linebackers. We see what the edge rushers can do. Like, you're going to have to go out there and find a way to put some points on the board. You can make an argument. I mean, honestly, it's the best defense in football. But what we have seen is the teams with great defensive lines this season are the teams that are playing the best football. And we could go down the list if we wanted to.
There's been a lot of conversation about Kansas City potentially missing the playoffs, and that makes sense. When you're 5-5 at this portion of the season, you have done that to yourself. If Buffalo is going to struggle with road games, is it fair to put them in that conversation? They have to go on the road and play Pittsburgh. They got to go on the road and play New England. They play Cincinnati. That's a home game, but Joe Burrow could be back, and that changes things with Cincinnati. They got Philadelphia toward the end of the season at home. They go on the road and play Cleveland. Cleveland beat Green Bay earlier this season. Who knows what version of the Browns you end up getting in that matchup. I think Buffalo is going to make it. I feel very confident Buffalo is going to make it. I'm not 100% sure they're going to make it, though, given their struggles on the road.
Yeah, it's the struggles on the road. It's that Josh needs to play hero ball to let them go out there and play, and they had a lot riding, honestly, on Keon Coleman, who I think everybody knows my co-host Steve Smith had a few things to say about him on our show a couple of weeks ago, and honestly, since those comments, we've actually seen him go in the opposite direction, even further. Like he's been a healthy scratch the last 2 weeks. They have no offense on the boundary whatsoever, and without Dalton Kincaid, he is their passing offense essentially. And when I talk to defensive coordinators that are gone against this Buffalo team, it's like, we only have to worry about between the hashes. Like that's it. Like they can't attack you outside, so we can sit one-on-one on the boundary and not worry about anybody beating us deep outside, and we can clog the middle against Khalil Shakir and Kincaid and Knox and James Cook in the passing game. And they've become a little bit predictable. The concepts aren't like outstanding when I talk to defensive coordinators about the way they play football offensively. And then they've just been ravaged with injuries on the defensive side of the ball. So when you can't stop anybody, I think it's almost making Josh want to play that hero ball a little bit further. Like there's some easy throws if you talk to people around the league that are there, I mean, honestly, and he's passing them up maybe to make the bigger play. I think we're seeing that from Pat maybe a little bit too, not maybe on as big of an extent, but I think that's the biggest issues with Buffalo, and it almost feels like they have a chance because they have Josh Allen, and they always will. Same thing with Kansas City. They have Patrick Mahomes, they'll always have a chance. But right now, neither team in the trenches is as good as we usually are used to seeing them, and that always is a big tell to me. And so I think they get in. I just think there's definitely massive holes in this Buffalo Bills team right now, more so than we've seen in the last couple of seasons.
Right now, we're talking to James Palmer of Bleacher Report, going over some of the top storylines in the NFL. This is the analogy I'll make for Kansas City. We all know that Steph Curry is human and that everybody misses shots. But when Steph Curry misses, you're thinking like, wow, you feel like you saw something really special. It feels like that's what Kansas City was in the fourth quarter of these games for like 5 years. Every single close one-score game, the Chiefs would just figure it out and find a way to win these kind of games. So it's been very telling so far this season, whether it's been a Mahomes pick six, whether it's been a Kelsey bobble ball, a blocked extra point, whatever it's been surprising to see a team go from so dominant in these close one-score games to now seemingly they make the play that shoots themselves in the foot to lose all of these one-score games.
Yeah, it's been fascinating to watch. I mean, sitting in that press box in Denver this past weekend, and it was like, Patrick and that offense comes out on the field. You're like, this is the drive. Here it is. And they go 3 and out. And then they get another opportunity. And you're like, I'm so used to seeing this. I've covered these games for the last, half a decade here. Like, here it comes. And they go 3 and out again. And you're like, I'm not used to seeing this. This isn't the way it usually goes. And, it's a hard way to live that life in those one-score games. I really think that is a difficult way to, sit there and play football. And we've said this and talked about this. Like, there was plenty of people in that building last year going, we're not as good as our record is. We're not 15-2. Like, that's not who we are. Like, the Raiders just don't even pay attention, apparently, at the end of the game, and the ball falls and they get the fumble, and the Chargers put one off the upright, and the Broncos, apparently somebody on the special teams just decides not to play that special team snap, and they run right through them and block the kick. And like, you go back and start thinking about it, and I think what's changed a little bit, and this is just, I don't think this is my opinion, this is kind of some people around the league I've talked to, is after that Super Bowl, and you saw what Philadelphia did to them when we were all there in New Orleans, it was, the Chiefs are human here, guys. Like, I think a little bit of that fear factor towards the end of games, which has really benefited the Chiefs. I've talked to a number of players and coaches that have been like, hey, man, you didn't hear it from me, but, like, when the game's close towards the end of the game, like, we all tighten up because we know 15's on the other side, and the Chiefs are going to find a way. I don't know if that mentality is still there right now in 2025 when teams play the Chiefs. And can it come back? Certainly. Can the Chiefs make a run here? Certainly. But I think those are the things late in games that have kind of changed a little bit. You saw no fear in Denver's mind at all in that game this past Sunday.
You say no fear. Denver operated like we're better than Kansas City. And basically, other than Philadelphia, no team has walked around in the NFL like that for the last year thinking we're better than Kansas City. The comments from Sean Payton at halftime were very, very telling. When he said, we think Kansas City is a first-half team, and we're talking about a team that we have seen make multiple miraculous fourth-quarter comebacks in the Super Bowl, to say that was very telling.
Yeah, it was. And you know what they did? They did exactly what Kansas City does to a lot of teams, and they beat them in complementary football. I put a tweet out about this, earlier this week where, Sean Payton, you heard those comments. He's done a great great job kind of creating a culture and a winning culture and flipping things in Denver very, very quickly. Bo Nix has made clutch plays, and that defense is one of the best in football, and Vance Joseph's coaching his tail off. What nobody talked about is Darren Rizzi and their special teams won that game for Denver. And that's usually what happens a lot of times over the course of the years. You've seen, the Chiefs put themselves in a really good position through the special teams and find a way to make a kick and find a way to, close out a game. And I think everybody in Kansas City in that building would even say that the Broncos special teams in terms of complementary football with their offense and their defense pretty much won them that game. And that's a formula that Kansas City has used in the past.
Right now, we're talking to James Palmer here for a couple more minutes going through some of the top storylines. I feel like the Colts and the Chiefs, oddly enough, are in the exact same place, and I'll explain. I don't think the public is going to believe in Daniel Jones. I think the public is kind of like what happened with Sam Darnold. I think the public is waiting for the other shoe to drop. Man, if Indianapolis goes on the road with everything that this Kansas City team has on the line and wins this game, I think people are going to have to soften their stance on the Colts, especially in an AFC right now where Buffalo looks weakened and Kansas City looks weakened. I mean, somebody's got to go to the Super Bowl out of the AFC. And then I also feel like on the other side with KC, if they can beat Indianapolis and they're just looking at a road game against the Cowboys on Thanksgiving, I mean, this team could be 7-5 here in a heartbeat, and just everybody is going to exhale, and the feeling is going to be, man, they let Kansas City get hot. Like, the Colts really have a chance to lay a pretty fatal blow to the Chiefs on Sunday.
They certainly do. I mean, you look at it right now, and, I work for The Athletic with our Scoop City show. So over there, we have this, unreal, playoff metric and barometer, and you can type in all of these different, you can go through a million different scenarios and figure it all out. So I'll break it down for you. Essentially, the Chiefs right now have a 56% chance to make the postseason. If they lose to the Colts, that drops to a 36% chance, and it kind of hovers around, a 1 in 3 chance of making the postseason the rest of the way out. If they win this game, they jump up to a 67% chance of making the postseason, according to our metrics at The Athletic. So, this is a massive game. The funny part is Denver's probably rooting for Kansas City. If Kansas City wins this game, that increases their chances of the number 1 seed, in all honesty, in the way that the rest of this AFC could play out. And so it is fascinating to watch what's going to happen with these two teams and what's going to happen with, obviously, New England is in the mix there because they don't play a whole lot of teams down the stretch. And so I think everybody is sitting here waiting to go, are the Colts going to be the ones that kind of, and we never want to, the Chiefs are a giant. You never want to rule them out. And I don't think anybody's going to rule them out until it's officially they're out of the postseason. I just think that's the way everybody thinks about the Chiefs. The Colts, this is a really big game for them. This is a prove-it game. And I think it is for Daniel Jones. It is for the rest of that group. They're going to need to run the football really well, and if it doesn't, I think Spags is going to be able to dial up a bunch of different exotic blitzes to confuse Daniel Jones and see if he can turn the football over, like what's happened the last couple of weeks. I'm fascinated to see this matchup. I think it's the game of the week for me. I know Philly and Dallas is a big one, but to me, this one has so much on the line for the course of the AFC and really the top dog in the Chiefs, and are they really going to be very vulnerable down the stretch in the way that the rest of this division and conference plays out.
You mentioned Philly and Dallas. I'll get you out of here with the question about that game. It's not really as much as a question, just a comment. I feel like every week there is just some new drama around the Eagles. It's somebody mad at Jalen Hurts. It's a new comment from A.J. Brown. There's something new with Nick Sirianni. I just feel like for a team that is they've won 21 of their last 25 games and won the Super Bowl, no one on that team seems to be happy.
Listen, I'm from Philadelphia, so I get it. I think we're naturally angry in some capacity. But I'll say this, I don't think many teams deal in chaos as well as Philadelphia does. I don't know many head coaches that deal with chaos as well as Nick Sirianni does. Is some of it created on his own, possibly at times. But I think they do a really good job of handling it. What I think they have, and it's a recipe for what's kind of gone on, is they have, on paper, probably the most talented team in football. And I think they have extremely high expectations with an attempt to repeat. They know, specifically offensively, they are not living up to those expectations at all. And they're not living up to the talent that they have on that side of the ball. Right now, Saquon Barkley's 38th in the NFL in yards per carry. He had 2,000 yards last year. And so when you look at A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert and Saquon Barkley and the offensive line and Jalen Hurts, they're all on edge because they're like, hey, our window is now. Right now with this much talent, you can't keep this much talent together for a very long period of time because of the salary cap. So They're on edge because, like, hey, we have a ton of talent and we're not playing up to it. This is an opportunity to win a Super Bowl, and there's issues in that. And everybody kind of knows that they keep playing like this offensively, they're probably not going to win the Super Bowl. So I think that compounds the fact that Jalen is also a very polarizing player. Everybody in this country, it seems like, has an opinion one direction or another, whether Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback, whether he's a product of the entire team around him, whether he's just average. Like, everybody seems to have an opinion on Jalen Hurts, and I think that plays into it as well. I would just say this. Jalen Hurts wins football games. I think that's the biggest thing that really should be tied into this entire equation. He finds a way to win. That's what he does. And so we can't knock somebody like Lamar Jackson for having unbelievable regular seasons and go, but the guy doesn't win the big game. Like, he doesn't beat Patrick Mahomes in the postseason. Like, this is ruining his legacy and his, what we all think of Lamar Jackson. Well, if you do that to Lamar in a negative fashion, you're not allowed to just forget the fact that it benefits Jalen Hurts in the way that he plays. So you can't have it both ways. Like, if you're going to knock Lamar in that sense, people should start giving Jalen Hurts some credit for playing his best on the biggest stages, which he still has a reputation and a track record of doing.
That is our guy, James Palmer of Bleacher Report, joining us on the show today. He also does a fantastic podcast. Check it out, the Scoop City podcast. He does great work with The Athletic as well. James, I feel like we're going to give you a little bit of time. Hopefully you're back on the show in January because the Chiefs are in January. That used to be a foregone conclusion. I'm not so sure right now, man.
It is, man. But being in that locker room last Sunday talking to guys, it was essentially this. Like, if we just got to get in. If we get in, we know we can make some noise. I think the Chiefs believe that. I think the rest of the NFL believes that. They just got to play better, and everybody will be fearing them again.
That is James Palmer joining us on the show today. Great stuff, James. Appreciate your time as always.
No problem, man.
Absolutely. That is friend of the show, James Palmer, getting you ready for Chiefs and Colts. Also happy to get his thoughts on the Buffalo Bills as well. We'll talk more about Buffalo as the show progresses as well. We'll talk more about Houston, that I think certainly piqued a lot of people's interest with how they played yesterday. We'll get back to that in a bit, but let me remind you guys that today is a FanDuel Friday on the show. It is presented by FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Taking a look at the app, we've told you guys that the Chiefs are a 3.5-point favorite heading into this matchup against the Indianapolis Colts. I think this is the most important question of the week. We ask a lot of questions on this show. I'll try to challenge you guys. I want you guys to think. If the Chiefs couldn't stop James Cook, what's their plan in stopping Jonathan Taylor? Because James Cook has probably been a top 5 running back in the National Football League this year. He has been very, very good. I think he is going to go to the Pro Bowl this year. I think he has a chance at being a second-team All-Pro running back. He has been very good this season. He ain't been Jonathan Taylor because nobody has been Jonathan Taylor so far this season. Jonathan Taylor so far this season on less than 200 carries already has 1,100 yards rushing. Think about that. He's not at 200 carries yet. He's not going to get there until probably the second, maybe third quarter of this Chiefs game. He has 189 carries. He has 1,100 yards rushing. He is averaging exactly 6 yards a carry. He has 17 total touchdowns. So I'm just asking the question. If the Chiefs couldn't stop James Cook, and we know they couldn't stop James Cook, what is their plan on stopping Jonathan Taylor in this matchup? If you were looking at the FanDuel numbers, Jonathan Taylor's over-under is at 90.5. And we have seen teams, when they go up against Kansas City, sometimes they forget who they are. Maybe they do something early on, the Chiefs get a big lead, and then they go away from it. Indianapolis is not going away from running from Jonathan Taylor. So this is going to take a very special effort from their defensive line, and you got to be locked in. I'm not saying the Chiefs lose if Jonathan Taylor hits his over just because he's having one of the best seasons of any player this year in the National Football League. The thing is going to be, can they manage the long back-breaking runs? I mean, that's how we beat the Atlanta Falcons a couple of weeks ago. He had 3 long back-breaking runs that every time you looked up, he's just 50 yards down the field. I mean, if you're looking at it, so the over-under on rush yards for Jonathan Taylor, I just told you, was 90.5. His receiving yards is 20.5. I mean, the expectation for Jonathan Taylor is to have 110 yards from scrimmage. He's not part of their offense. He is the offense. Rob, if they couldn't stop James Cook, what's their plan on stopping Jonathan Taylor?
I wish I had an answer for you, because I remember we were doing the show leading into the Bills game. And we were saying, text line was saying, everyone was saying, the Bills receiving group, the Bills pass catchers are not great. If you can slow down James Cook, Josh Allen hasn't been the MVP. You can only slow down the Bills. We saw the Bills game. The Bills ran the ball effectively, and it opened up the entire offense. I feel like we're saying a lot of the same things about this game. Daniel Jones is still Daniel Jones. He's not the most dynamic quarterback in the league. He's somewhat limited. He's a product of his parts around him. If you can slow down Jonathan Taylor, you can kind of make them one-dimensional. I think you can beat them. Last time we said all those things, it didn't play out that way. The Bills established the run in about 7 minutes of real time, and I was like, they're going to run the ball effectively. So the Chiefs better have a game plan for Jonathan Taylor, and it better not be first drive, we're going to slow him down, and they're going to run away from him. It better be 60 minutes of slowing down Jonathan Taylor, because if they don't slow him down, the Colts offense has been just better than the Chiefs offense this year, and that's a problem for Kansas City.
Yeah, and a lot of the arguments on the text line, which makes sense, well, they don't have Josh Allen to worry about, so we can just put more resources there. Okay, that's fair. Daniel Jones this season, I feel like Daniel Jones is playing a little bit better than he's given credit for so far this year. Daniel Jones has a 100 quarterback rating and is completing 70% of his passes. Now, there has been a team that has stopped Jonathan Taylor so far. It was Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh forced turnovers against Indianapolis and slowed down Jonathan Taylor. That has been the formula on how to beat this team. Now, you got to go out there, you got to execute it, but this is a Colts team that has weapons. Tyler Warren is playing at a high level. Alec Pierce is playing well. This is a Colts team that has some weapons that is more than capable of coming in and pulling off the upset, and I use that very loosely given the point spread. Coming up on the other side, we'll continue to get you ready for Sunday's matchup. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with CDOT. Tune in as Nate Taylor of ESPN joins the show in studio every Friday at 4 on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
I want to tell you guys about our friends over at The Other Place with 5 area locations. You are never too far away from that place to sit down and watch the game. Maybe you're not going to the game this week. Maybe it's cold outside. Maybe you don't got tickets. You don't want to deal with the travel, the traffic, whatever it could possibly be. Well, you know what? Then go stop by and see our friends over at The Other Place. They got great game day specials. They got 14-inch, 2-topping pizzas for $12. They got 8 wings and a basket of tots for $12. They also got a $4 domestic OP cup. Grab yourself something to drink. Maybe after work you're looking for something to do. They got Red Friday specials. You can get select appetizers for $6, and you can also get a Busch Light Tall Boy. You know Rob loves a Busch Light Tall Boy. So if you're looking for a one-of-a-kind game day experience, if you're looking for the next best thing to being at the stadium, and you want that game day atmosphere without actually going out to the game, well, then go stop by and see our friends over at The Other Place.
Introducing the IHOP Value Menu, where all your breakfast faves are just $6 each every day. Where else can you get a big, filling, sit-down breakfast for only $6? Go to your happy plates with the $6 IHOP Value Menu. Available every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations.
Arvest Bank believes in the power of serving others. That's why we're committed to supporting those who serve our communities. We believe that all communities deserve a financial partner who cares. Arvest. We believe.
BetMGM is coming soon to Missouri. Sports fans in Missouri can pre-register and get up to $1,500 paid back in bonus bets if their first bet loses. Plus, an additional $100 in bonus bets if they deposit before December 1st. Enjoy a betting app that was designed for game day with features like live bets, same-game parlays, BetMGM rewards points, and surprise boosts dropping in your account all throughout the season. It's everything a sports fan could want in one app. BetMGM is coming to Missouri on December 1st. Pre-register today. BetMGM, make it legendary. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. New customer offers subject to eligibility requirements and minimum deposit of $10. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. Pending BetMGM's licensure as a mobile sports wagering operator with the Missouri Gambling Commission register for a Missouri online sport wagering account starting 11/17. BetMGM's insurance of welcome offer is conditional on full.
This is Blake Fanning with Shawnee Mission Ford. The year-end sales event starts now. That's 0% on all new 25 Escapes, Explorers, F-150s, Transits, and Super Duties, regular and super cabs. But it doesn't stop there. You also get 90 days till first payment and 90 days of Blue Cruise. Shawnee Mission Ford still gives you the large discounts and top trade allowances. You'll save thousands. Take advantage of 0% for 60 months, 90 days till first payment, and 90 days of Blue Cruise. Shawnee Mission Ford, on a mission to do more.
Are you tired of online threats? Then get an antivirus. It's the only online protection you will ever need.
Disclaimer, an antivirus is just half protection online. It will not protect you from snoopers or encrypt your online traffic. So this Black Friday, get better online protection with NordVPN. NordVPN will encrypt your traffic, protect you from malware and phishing, and stop annoying ads. Get the NordVPN Black Friday deal with 73% off and enjoy 3 extra months.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your Nature-Made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You think you understand how this business works, but you don't.
Landman, TV's biggest phenomenon, returns to Paramount Plus. From Taylor Sheridan, co-creator of Yellowstone, starring Billy Bob Thornton.
You have to know the rules of the game and bend them, and you really have to know them to break them.
Demi Moore.
I want success. Get it for me.
Andy Garcia, Ali Larter, and Sam Elliott.
You don't even know the game you're playing, do you?
Landman, new season, now streaming. Only on Paramount Plus.
This afternoon, expect rain showers with a high of 51.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Have an easy holiday at Staples. Save on top tech and gaming gifts, shipping supplies and services to get your packages there safely, even custom cards and wrapping paper. Staples. That was easy.
96.5 The Fan and the Kansas Lottery are giving you a shot at fourth quarter fortune with the chance to score a game day tailgate bundle and a $100 holiday instant ticket. Go to 965thefan.com for your chance to win. Must be 18 or older to enter. Follow the station on Instagram at TheFan965 for giveaways and behind-the-scenes content.
We're going to head to Indianapolis coming up in just a little bit. It is funny how I would say this year we have the sequel of the Minnesota Vikings. Last year's Minnesota Vikings team kind of came out of nowhere with the quarterback that was a top 10 draft pick that was getting a fresh start. He gets that fresh start. He puts up great numbers and puts them in a position to be the 1 seed in their respective conference. And I feel like all last season, people were just kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop with Minnesota, and no one would believe in Minnesota. And you remember, Minnesota in the final game of the regular season, they played that game against the Lions. They lost that game. They then had to go on the road in the first round of the playoffs, and they lost that game to the Rams. So things turn really, really quickly for Minnesota. You win 14, 15 games. Next thing you know, you're on the road in round 1. And next thing you know, you lose and your season's over. I feel like we are getting a second chance at that with the Indianapolis Colts and where they are this season. Let's talk specifically about Daniel Jones. Now, I think everyone will acknowledge that Daniel Jones is playing well this season. Is he playing great? Obviously debatable, but he is playing well so far this season. He's completing 70% of his passes. If you look at where he is right now, he's at 2,700 passing yards. He'll probably be somewhere in the 3,700 range by the time the season is over. 15 touchdown passes, 7 interceptions. So let's say by the time this season is over, Daniel Jones completes 70% of his passes, throws for 3,700 yards. Let's give him 24 touchdown passes and 10 interceptions. That feels like a very safe estimate for Daniel Jones. That's a pretty good quarterback that I think you can win with, especially if the Colts continue to run the football effectively the way that they have and play good defense and take the ball away. That's why you go get a Sauce Gardner. You pair him with Charvarius Ward. If you can get both of those guys on the same page, you got a 1-2 punch at corner that you feel can match up against anybody. Here's the problem with Daniel Jones, and this has been the problem with Daniel Jones his entire NFL career. He is a turnover machine. Now, Rob, I know you don't have the answer to this off the top of your head, so I'm just asking you to spitball. I'm asking you to guess here. How many fumbles do you think Daniel Jones has this season?
Total or lost?
Total fumbles this season.
8?
8 fumbles, which lead the National Football League.
That's so many.
Think about this. Daniel Jones has started 79 games in his NFL career. 79. He has fumbled the ball 58 times in his career. 58 times. The numbers strongly suggest in this football game that Kansas City will have 1, maybe 2 opportunities to take the football away from Daniel Jones. Whether it is a bad errant throw or a couple of times he puts the ball on the turf, you are going to have a couple of opportunities. And one of the reasons that it feels like people are starting to turn a little bit on the Indianapolis Colts is the same Daniel Jones that we have known and watched over the last 6 or 7 years is popping back up and having the same turnover issues as before. I think the Colts have shown you the best version of them can absolutely win the AFC and could possibly win the Super Bowl, but not the version that went on the road against the Pittsburgh Steelers. That version, their quarterback just doesn't give you a chance to win if you're going to turn the ball over as many times as they did. So I think the question that everybody is asking, the same way that we were asking this question last year about Minnesota, hey, is Sam Darnold good enough? Can Sam Darnold do this into the postseason? And we got our answer. The answer was a resounding no. People are now asking the exact same question about the AFC version of last year's Minnesota Vikings, and that's the Indianapolis Colts this season.
I think, and we'll have to see how the season plays out, but I think one difference between the two is it looks like at this point in the season, the Colts are going to be hosting a playoff game. And I think hosting a playoff game versus last year's Vikings, which had to go on the road, or I guess they had that weird neutral site because of, I think there was, fires in LA, so they played in Arizona. But I think that's a big difference here. Like, people pointing to Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones, and I'm one of them, I think it's a fair comparison. I think where it's different is Sam Darnold had to go on the road last year, and road postseason games are a different animal, a different environment, all those things. Daniel Jones, whether it be in the first round or maybe the second round, is going to be playing his first game in a controlled dome environment with a friendly crowd. So just because the similarities are there does not mean the outcome is going to end the same. But I do, and I've been this person too, I do think this year's Colts are just last year's Vikings. And they're in an easier division than last year's Vikings were and all those things. But it does feel like that's what's happening right now with the Indianapolis Colts.
Let me give you some more specific numbers when it comes to Daniel Jones. Weeks 1 through 8, Daniel Jones threw 3 interceptions, was sacked 9 times with 2 fumbles. The last 2 weeks, so weeks 9 and 10, he has thrown 4 interceptions. So he has thrown more interceptions in his last 2 games than he did in the first 7 games of the National Football League. He has been sacked 12 times in the last 2 weeks. He has 6 fumbles in their last 2 games. Now, this is a little fun with endpoints, and a lot of this is wrapped up into how they played against the Pittsburgh Steelers. But to me, I think that game against the Steelers is the one that everybody is pointing to with the CC I told you. The Steelers were able to eliminate Jonathan Taylor, and he was not a factor in the game. Jonathan Taylor had 14 carries for 45 yards and had 12 yards receiving. He had 57 yards from scrimmage. Well, if that's the case, then the Colts just aren't winning. Like, I don't know what to tell you. They're not winning if that's the case. And Daniel Jones just couldn't stop turning the football over. If you are the Chiefs and you are looking at how do we defend this team? How do we take what they want to do away? I don't think you got to look any further than what Pittsburgh did just a couple of weeks ago, and you got to find a way to mirror that. But this also involves you getting pressure and you winning up front, forcing fumbles, getting sacks, disrupting timing. That is your front four playing well. So their front four has taken a lot of arrows so far this season, and I think a lot of it has been justified. But this is a George Karlaftis, Chris Jones, Mike Dana, Charles Omenihu. You guys got to go win this game. You got to set the tone. You got to set the edge. You got to put Indianapolis into a 2nd and 8 situation or a 3rd and 7 where Jonathan Taylor's not going to get a carry in that scenario, and then you get after the quarterback and force those fumbles and contest passes and do those kind of things. Your D-line has to play well going up against this Colts team.
You took the wind out of my sails because I was listening to those numbers, and the first thing that popped out to me was, his sack number went up. And if you're getting sacked more, you're probably under pressure more. Like, just that's inherently. You don't have the pressure numbers in front of you, but just logically, it stands to reason that if you're getting sacked more, you're under pressure more, he's making more mistakes. It is same song, different verse with this Chiefs defense, man. If they aren't going to create pressure, Daniel Jones can look like an MVP. I honestly, at this point, I don't care who the opposing quarterback is. If the Chiefs don't get pressure, the opposing quarterback looks good. Look at their losses this year. Trevor Lawrence, the guy me and you don't believe in, he looks good. How come? Spotty pressure. Justin Herbert, much maligned by the text line, and people think he is what he is. But you know what? No pressure in that game. He looked really good. Meanwhile, the games they've won, they put a lot of pressure on Russell Wilson. Part of that's father time, but they put pressure on him. Their defense played better. They won the game. Geno Smith was under pressure. Like, Mariota was under pressure. Like, these things existed. It seems so simple, but the inconsistencies in their pass rush are the reason the Chiefs are 5-5. So the Colts can obviously be got, and if you can get pressure on Daniel Jones, you can make him look like Daniel Jones. But I don't have any belief that, the Chiefs have the pass rush to do that. They haven't done that at any point this season consistently.
Coming up at the top of the hour, we're going to head to Indianapolis to be joined by Kevin Bowen with 105.7 The Fan out in Indianapolis. We'll talk to him about what went wrong against the Pittsburgh Steelers and the feeling around the Colts heading into this matchup on Sunday at Arrowhead. That's coming up. Keep it right here. It's The Drive on 96.5 The Fan.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Hey, folks, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here. Many men remember their first time. Not that first time. I'm talking about the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined that special moment. And if you're over 50, then the chances are then you've experienced this before. That first time can be frustrating. It can be a little bit embarrassing. But here's the good news. At Heartland Men's Health, that first time can also be the last time. Heartland Men's Health specializes in treating ED when the pills and herbals fail. With a success rate of over 90%, many men see results just after one visit. So your first visit is just $99, which includes a consult, lab work, and if medically advised, you get a test dose. And if it doesn't work right there in the office, then your visit is on the house. So don't let ED define your sex life. Call my friends at Heartland Men's Health today at 844-447-6600 or check out the website, heartlandmenshealth.com today. You can also stop by and visit any of the 3 area locations, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City. Be sure to stop by Heartland Men's Health.
Hey, Chiefs fans, Crown Royal is the official whiskey of the Kansas City Chiefs. And this season, it's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with the Crown Royal rig at a stadium near you, because we'll be sharing the generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, fueling game day with a generous spirit. Visit www.crownroyal.com/Royal Rig for more on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. Please drink responsibly.
Play Kansas Lottery's holiday scratch tickets for a chance to win up to $100,000 instantly. Enter tickets into Play On for a chance to win bonus drawings. See KSLottery.com.
Get ready, Missouri. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is coming soon. Starting on December 1st, new customers in Missouri can get up to $300 in bonus bets when you make your first $5 bet. From touchdowns to three-pointers, with FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. With live betting, you can even get in on the action after the game has already started. All on an app that's safe, secure, and easy to use. Visit FanDuel.com/Missouri to learn more. And you'll be all set to bet when FanDuel goes live in Missouri on December 1st. That's FanDuel.com/Missouri. Play your game of FanDuel, the #1 rated sportsbook app. Must be 21 and present in Missouri. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Offer starts 12/1/25. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG.
Hi, I'm John Ray, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. When you buy an engagement ring or fine jewelry gift from Shane Company, you get more than what you paid for. Our jewelry comes with our all-inclusive free lifetime warranty. It covers everything. There's no fine print. You'll get unlimited cleanings, resizings, and repairs. Plus, it even protects your engagement ring's center stone. We stand behind the quality of our jewelry, and that's our gift to you this holiday. Peace of mind. Because a friend knows the best things in life are free. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
You could be on the 50 at GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Enter to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is the proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Get ready, Missouri. Kickoff is near. The world's largest sports book is coming to your fingertips. Circa Sports, it's sports betting the way it should be. With high and transparent app limits, low holds, and exceptional customer service. Start betting like a pro in Missouri on December 1st. Learn about your new bookie today at circasports.com. The world's largest sports book at your fingertips. Circa Sports launches December 1st.
The guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, president of Leaf Filter, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Hey, it's Creed Humphrey. The Chiefs Radio Network pregame show starts 3 hours before kickoff, right here on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey Sports Station.
Welcome back into the drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. Coming up in a bit, we'll talk about Travis Kelce's comments as he was asked about what is his future with the Kansas City Chiefs.
You know, seeing my brother go through it and seeing, I don't know, just how the league works. You know, the season kind of restarts in April, and I want to give the Chiefs a good opportunity to, you know, whether I come back or not, and vice versa, like whether they want me back or not. It's one of those things where I'd like to make that decision before they got to get draft picks and the free agency opens, so that it gives them an opportunity to go out there and fill the roster appropriately. So all that will be at the end of the season, and I won't be thinking about it until then.
I really think there's a chance that Travis Kelce comes back next season. I was at one point like 99% sure that this was going to be his last season, and I think everything kind of lined up that way. Maybe I'm now reading too much into it on the other side. I really think that Taylor's super supportive of it. I think she wants him to do it for as long as he can. I think she understands the thrill of being on the stage and what it is and how hard it is to potentially walk away from it. He's still playing at a really high level. He seems very healthy. He seems very engaged in doing it. I don't think it's crazy to think that Travis Kelce comes back next year on a 1-year team-friendly deal. Now, I don't think he's playing for free or anything, but I could see him signing a low base salary, high incentives, just trying to help out the team. Money isn't really a big deal. I just want to keep playing football, and I want to keep playing football in Kansas City. I've kind of come back on the other way. I still think it's more likely he retires than not, but I think it's probably like 60-40, maybe 65-35. I think there's a good chance that Travis Kelce ends up coming back next year to the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll talk more about that coming up in a bit, but let's head to the phone lines right now to be joined by Kevin Bowen of 107.5 The Fan out in Indianapolis to take a closer look at the Chiefs' opponent on Sunday. Kevin, always appreciate you popping on. We were just talking about this. Let's start with Jonathan Taylor, who is off to an incredible start this season.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a runner that's doing what Jonathan Taylor is,
doing right now, that obviously is a huge focal point. I thought Jones, especially September and October, he was also making some big league throws. It was not just a managing of the operation when they needed him to make some of those Sunday throws. He was doing that. Now, in the last 2 games, it has been a little bit more of the New York Daniel Jones. Pass protection hasn't been as clean. The sack numbers are higher. The turnover numbers are much, much higher. So I think that's kind of the question coming out of the bye week for Colts fans. It's like, all right, was the Daniel Jones 2-month thing a tease, or was this just kind of the inevitable, every NFL team has a hurdle or two to clear during the season? Pittsburgh and Atlanta have some pretty good edge rushers. Has that contributed to it? So I'll be very curious to see what or how Daniel Jones looks. Obviously, I expect a lot of blitzing from Steve Spagnuolo and company, and how he handles that after these last 2 games and the bye week, I think, is a big storyline.
Do you feel like a lot of people are waiting for the other shoe to drop when it comes to the Colts? Because last year it felt like Minnesota was that team. No one wanted to believe it was Sam Darnold, and ultimately those people got proven right in the final 2 games last season for Minnesota. I feel like a lot of that same energy is now being directed towards Indianapolis. Do you feel that?
Yeah, I think that's probably a fair analogy. I don't think anyone wants to truly believe in the resurrection project at quarterback just because there haven't been too many of them. And sure, Baker Mayfield is kind of the poster child of it right now, and Darnold has had flashes. But, it doesn't normally work out like that. And I don't know, maybe the New York element to Daniel Jones is at play a little bit more here. And, he was in a quarterback competition with Anthony Richardson. It's not even like, he was handed the starting keys or anything like that. And we probably should point out the Colts schedule. With Houston winning last night, actually record-wise of the final 7 games, Kansas City is and I say this in quotes, the easiest team they play. They play 6 teams right now above 500, and then they play Kansas City at 500. And, again, at Pittsburgh, in Germany, a little bit different environments. If you look at who they played early on, they played Tennessee twice. They played Jacoby Brissett. They played Geno Smith. Miami's, early in the year was pretty dysfunctional. They played them out of the gate. Now, they also beat Denver. They went to, L.A. and beat the Chargers pretty handily. They easily could have beaten the Rams on the road as well. But, yeah, I think nationally, that conversation, I feel like I do hear a decent amount.
Right now, we're talking to Kevin Bowen, who covers the Indianapolis Colts. He is with 107.5 The Fan out in Indy. Kevin, I understand that for whatever reason, people have decided that only quarterbacks could win NFL MVP, but my stance on this has been out there. If the Colts get the 1 seed, I would vote for Jonathan Taylor to win NFL MVP.
Yeah, I hear you out. Unfortunately, I just don't think the NFL operates in that manner. I believe it's been since Todd Gurley in 2017 since we've had a running back get a vote, not just, obviously win the award. That's Adrian Peterson in 2012. Just get a vote. You got to go all the way back to Gurley. But I do think Taylor has some highlight moments. If he can get to that touchdown number that kind of rivals LaDainian Tomlinson, then I do think the conversation is really real. Now, the Colts will need a few more games, I think, kind of flexed in a prime time and, get some of those moments. And Matthew Stafford probably, having a little bit of a quieter, final stretch of the season is needed. But, the fact that you don't necessarily have Allen and Mahomes and Lamar Jackson atop that list probably helps out Taylor. And maybe there is a little bit more of a, hey, why don't we look at a running back now? But still, with how that award has been voted on, and I get it, the acronym is most valuable player. Someone brought up to us on our morning show, they should change it to MOP, kind of like how we do in the NCAA tournament, most outstanding player. Then I think maybe the votes would get different, but quarterback's quarterback, so I understand why people vote in the manner they do.
I mean, a lot of people thought that Jonathan Taylor was one of the better running backs in the league, so I don't think anyone is surprised that he is having a good season. He's in the prime of his career. What do you think has gone from him being a very good running back to now being looked at as hands down the best running back, and he feels like he's unstoppable so far this season? He's averaging 6 yards a carry and has 15 touchdowns, and we're not at Thanksgiving yet.
Yeah, I'd say 2 things. One, they obviously have showed good offensive balance. I think when you have a pass game and Tyler Warren's presence and those wideouts, Alec Pierce vertically, when you have that threat, I think it at least keeps defenses on their toes a little bit. And then I know this sounds really simple, but Taylor is healthy. He has not been on the injury report a single time this season, and I remember him being healthy all throughout the offseason. That is very rare for a running back in today's NFL with the wear and tear that he has on his body. He had a great season in 2021, when the Colts nearly made the playoffs, but then Taylor was banged up in 2022, banged up in 2023, a little bit in 2024 as well. I mean, now he's just been really healthy, and I think that allows him to hit more of the home runs, get to the second level, throttle it up, and kind of show off that home run ability that he has.
Right now, we're talking to Kevin Bowen for a couple more minutes here, learning a little bit more about the Indianapolis Colts heading into their matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs. Kevin, this is what I've been saying. I think both of these teams need this game for a very different reason. We mentioned it with Indianapolis. Like, there is a group of people that are sort of waiting for the other shoe to drop. Man, if the Colts go on the road outdoors against the Kansas City Chiefs and win this game, knowing the importance that this game has for Kansas City, I just don't know how you can tell me that Indianapolis can't win the Super Bowl. Kansas City's not the team we thought they were going to be. Buffalo isn't that team. Baltimore isn't that team. I mean, somebody has to go to the Super Bowl out of the AFC. I also feel like from Kansas City's side, if Kansas City wins this game against Indianapolis, they got the Thanksgiving game against the Cowboys. They could be looking at 7-5 with the win in their back pocket against maybe the best team in the NFL in Indianapolis. I mean, people will feel like everything is back on track with Kansas City. This feels like a pretty big crossroad moment for both of these teams on Sunday.
Yeah, I think it's kind of funny, 2 or 3 months ago, if you would have said, hey, Chiefs and Colts, one team competing for the 1 seed, another team competing to keep their playoff hopes, I guess, realistically alive, you would have said, oh, yeah, for sure. That makes total sense. Kansas City for the 1 seed and Indianapolis for the fringe playoff hopes. Well, now it's kind of flipped. So, yeah, I do. I think, anytime you play a Mahomes, a Reed, you play an Arrowhead, yeah, all of that, the game gets circled, as it should. Kansas City has earned that with what they've done in the AFC over the last, 5 to 10 years. So, it's in the 1 o'clock window, but I do think a lot of national eyes are going to be on it.
You mentioned it earlier. Let's get to it. The Colts made a pretty big trade at the deadline to go get Sauce Gardner. How has he looked so far early on with the Indianapolis Colts? And they also have Charvarius Ward, a corner that Chiefs fans are certainly very familiar with, him being in Kansas City. I mean, if that's your 1-2 punch at the position, you got as good of a cornerback duo of any team in the National Football League.
Yeah, I try not to speak in hyperbole, but, I've covered the Colts since 2010. I don't recall a secondary on paper ever looking like this. And, again, can, Mooney coming off the concussion, is he back to his normal self? And I thought Sauce Gardner actually played pretty well in Germany, considered he was traded midweek. Kenny Moore, the second in the slot, is a really, really good slot corner. And their safety tandem, Cam Bynum and Nick Cross, have played pretty well this season. So, that's where I think the Colts feel like they have created a Super Bowl window with Gardner's arrival. And, again, it's needed, I think, right now because DeForest Buckner is out, and he is their top pass rusher, even though he's an interior guy. So I expect, them to play a lot of man coverage, and they feel like they've got the personnel to certainly do it. And I'll be curious how much they blitz Mahomes, given Lou Anarumo's history, which has been a little bit more, drop 7, drop 8.
I want to get your thoughts on this, and then we'll get your keys to the game. Do you think that the line in this game, which Kansas City is a 3.5-point favorite, do you think that is more respect for Kansas City and that the public believes that the Chiefs are going to turn things around? Or do you think that's indicative of disrespect for the Colts, in which we talked about? There's a group of NFL fans that are waiting for the other shoe to drop in Indianapolis. Which one do you think this, I guess, signifies more for? Do you think this means more about Indianapolis or more about Kansas City?
I'm going to go Kansas City. I think the Colts have actually had some pretty healthy lines this season, them as favorites. So, yeah, I will say, obviously a little bit of home field, but I would say the overall, public money that inevitably comes in on the, the most, the best team in the league or the team that's, thought of as highly as they have been over the last, again, 5 to 10 years. So I'll say that's more of a Chiefs respect thing.
I'll get you out of here with this last thing. Give me your Colts win-if scenario. Give me your Chiefs win-if scenario.
Well, yeah, can you create a pass rush around Patrick Mahomes? Again, I got some questions around that. I would start there. And then, for Kansas City, can you limit Jonathan Taylor and set up the pass rush opportunities on Daniel Jones? I think those are kind of the two big ones for me. Again, the Colts have had some issues in pass protection, and Jones has had some turnovers here recently. How do they, kind of counter that? How do they balance their offense with Jonathan Taylor, who, as we talked about, has been so good this season?
That is our guy, Kevin Bowen, joining us on the show today. He covers the Indianapolis Colts for 107.5 The Fan in Indianapolis. The biggest game this week in the AFC, Colts and Chiefs, a very important game for both sides. Kevin, great stuff as always, man. We'll catch up with you down the line.
You bet. Thanks for having me, man.
That is Kevin Bowen joining us on the show today. Coming up on the other side, we'll continue to talk about Travis Kelce's comments as he met with the media earlier today. And I got a question to ask you guys. I imagine a lot of you are picking the Chiefs to win. I am also picking the Chiefs to win. I'm curious why. Because I think there's really only two answers to that question on why I'm picking Kansas City to win. I'll tell you what I think they are. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Tune in Mondays at 4 to hear the play-by-play voice of the Chiefs, Mitch Holtis, on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan.
Holiday season is right around the corner, so that means you're going to be cooking some really important meals for the family. And if you're going to do that, then it has to include Gates Classic Seasoning. It's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here telling you about our friends over at Gates Barbecue. With 5 area locations, you are never too far away from that classic Kansas City barbecue taste. And as we get closer to the holiday season and you're prepping your meals, I want you to think about that Gates Seasoning. You can get it in a couple of different flavors: extra hot, original, sweet, and mild. You can also get the salad season, and their seasoning goes great with a whole lot of foods. Put it on your green beans, put it on your spinach, put it on your eggs. You can use your Gates seasoning as marinade for your meats as you're cooking that bird for your Thanksgiving feast. And if you're looking for a quick side dish, then you know they got it over at Gates Barbecue. Go pick you up some beans. Go pick you up some of those fries, a little bit of sweet potato pie, maybe some potato salad. Go to Gates to get your sides here. And if you're looking to tailgate for the game on Sunday, stop by. There's a Gates Barbecue right around the corner from the stadium. Stop by the one over there on 40 Highway, pick yourself up a tray, and then ride into the stadium and have your little picnic before you go to the game. You can also stop by the one over on Main Street and get yourself the Gates Chicken Wing Tray. This is Carrington again, reminding you guys that whatever your holiday food plans are, they have to include Gates Barbecue.
Our biggest deal is back. The Tires at Cost sale at Tele Tire and Auto Centers. You pay what we pay. No gimmicks, no catch. All in-stock tires from Tele's huge inventory at cost. Plus mounting and balancing by certified tire technicians for only $27.95. The top brands, the lowest possible prices, with a 30-day ride guarantee and lifetime tire protection. There's never been a better time to replace your worn-out tires. These unbeatable savings won't last long. Hurry and reserve your tires today. Take care of your car. Take advantage of our sale. Take it to Tele. Additional charges apply for junk tire disposal and road hazard warranty.
It's a Red Friday on 96.5 The Fan and the other place, especially with these great game day specials. 8 wings and a basket of tots for $12 plus $4 domestic OP cups. The other place, the next best thing to being at the game.
Bring tournament energy to the regular season with an NBA Cup odds boost token from BetMGM. The token is already waiting for you in your BetMGM account. So simply visit your promotions page and add an NBA Cup bet to your bet slip. Activate your token, and if your bet hits, you'll score extra winnings. BetMGM is the place to shoot your shot all season long. New this year, BetMGM has improved its app to include dark mode, a brand new rewards hub, and matchup and market insights for your bets. Head over to your BetMGM account today and grab your NBA Cup odds boost token to score a bigger payout if you win. Make it a tournament to remember with BetMGM, authorized gaming partner of the NBA.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and may expire in 1 to 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Here we go. Count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
This is incredible.
Watch your local NFL game live all season long.
And he's in for a touchdown.
Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
Get up to a $15 O'Reilly gift card after rebate with the purchase of select pairs of wiper blades at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around, or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state, only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening, because health is a long game and it's yours to win. Now, here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend Shields, Guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi? Learn more at depend.com.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This report is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Good Friday to you, Gardner. That's a stall in the right lane, 35 southbound just past 56 Highway. And it is a little slow back into Olathe. We've also got the crash still working 470 eastbound as you approach 71. It's in the right lane, so scoot to the left. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's George Karlaftis from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome to The Drive with CDOT on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, welcome back into The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. Nate Taylor is going to join us coming up in about 40 minutes or so. So there's two things that I want to get to in this segment. Let's start with the first one. I imagine a large majority of you are picking the Chiefs. I am also picking the Chiefs in this game. Now, to be honest, I don't know what team Rob is picking. I don't know. I haven't asked him yet. I'm waiting to ask him. But if you've been listening to the show this week, you've heard Rob's energy. Rob's energy is that they are losing. I know Rob well. We've been doing this for a long time. I talked to Rob out of 365 days. I talked to Rob 330 of them. We talk pretty frequently, even on the weekends. I know Rob. I know Rob's wife. I know his mom, his pops. I met his grandma. We did it. We did a dance together. I know Rob. Rob thinks the Chiefs are losing this game, but I'm not ready to ask him that because I'm not ready to unleash the hounds on the text line because I know the moment Rob says I'm picking the Colts, I mean, we lost for a reason. We lost because of you in the Pitch magazine. I don't know how this has just been like the analogy, the example that is in my mind. But if we were walking around the plaza and we were playing Family Feud, and I asked you to give me the reason of why you think the Chiefs are winning this game, I don't think you could argue that the Chiefs are the better team. I'm sorry. You can't argue that based off what's happened so far in 2025. There is not a metric to suggest that this season, not what they have done in totality, but this season is better than the Indianapolis Colts. I think the answer for most people would be these two things. And they are the two things for me. That's how I came up with this. Number one, they always win this game. They have to win this game. To me, picking the Chiefs to lose this game is giving up on the Chiefs. You can't have them making the playoffs and you have them losing this game. You can't. Now, I know mathematically, but hey, back up against the wall. You're 5-5 at home against Daniel Jones. You can't tell me you are picking Indianapolis and then you're on the text line telling me stop being doom and gloom. They're making the postseason. You can't be in both camps, in my opinion. So the number one reason I think if we walk around Kansas City and we ask people, why do you think the Chiefs are winning this game? The number one reason is they always win. They have to win. I think the number two answer would be Daniel Jones. I think the number two answer would be I don't believe in Daniel Jones. And I don't think that Daniel Jones is coming into Arrowhead and beating the Kansas City Chiefs. I think number three would be Patrick Mahomes. I'm not sure if Andy would be very high on the list. I don't think Andy's approval rating is too high right now. Now, sure, I think a lot of people think he's the best coach and all those things, but you guys seem way more mad at Andy than you are at Patrick. And there's just a belief, hey, we got 15 on our side. As long as we got 1-5 healthy, we feel like we are the favorites and can win any game. I think those are the top three answers. And I can't think of too many times in recent memory where the number one answer just isn't, hey, the Chiefs are better than them. I mean, that was the answer for 4 or 5 years. It was hard thinking of topics because in the end, you kind of come up with all these different topics and ideas. And then it's just like, I think the Chiefs are going to win because they're better than they are. I don't think the Chiefs are better than the Colts. I think the Colts are the best team in the AFC. If we are going off what has happened so far this season, I would probably rank it Colts 1, Patriots 2, Broncos 3, and then after that, you take a guess on who you think's the fourth best team in the AFC. I don't really have a good answer. Now, can Kansas City get back into that conversation? Obviously, but the 2025 Chiefs have not really put in a whole lot of work. That starts on Sunday. You still play really important games, and we knew that this was going to be a difficult stretch. You played Denver. You played Buffalo, two playoff teams in the AFC. You lost both of those games. You got another playoff team coming into your house, and your back is up against the wall. Nobody has to tell the Chiefs how important this game is. And if you're if you're under 500 heading into Thanksgiving, I don't think the playoff is a front of mind conversation. I don't think the expectation is then the playoff. I don't think you can be a 5-6 football team and then think that the expectation is that you're now going to rattle off 6 in a row and now you're making the postseason. You have done nothing to think that you are winning 6 consecutive games, not based on how you played so far this season. So again, to me, if you are picking the Colts to win, you have given up on the Chiefs. I'm not ready to give up on the Chiefs yet. So my answer would be twofold. Number one, they always win this game. Number two, Daniel Jones is the starting quarterback of the Colts, and I'm just not ready to believe in them yet. So 913-586-7965. You guys give me the answer. If we were playing Family Feud right now and you were walking around and you were collecting the answers for the surveys, top 100 answers on the board, 100 people surveyed, and I asked you, hey, why do you think the Chiefs are going to win on Sunday? What do you think would be on the board? Because I think those would be the top 3 answers. They always win this game. Daniel Jones is the starting quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts, and we got Patrick Mahomes as our starting quarterback, and I will always take 15 in a matchup. I can't think of really too many other reasons why you would pick the Chiefs in this game.
I think your reason, if we went around the plaza and asked people, are correct. But I would say I think those reasons are kind of flimsy. Like you said, the number one reason on the board is the Chiefs always win this game. The last 2 games the Chiefs played, the Chiefs have lost this game. Before the Bills game, it was, hey, if you want to be in the 1 seed race, if you want to get back in the host of the Arrowhead Invitational, this is a playoff type of game in Buffalo. They want you. They've been trying to, they've been stewing on the AFC title game. You go up there and you make a statement against a bad defense. Chiefs lost that game. Okay, that's fine. Bye week. After a bye week, AFC West, get back into the AFC West race. This is basically a playoff game in Denver. Your team is better than Bo Nix. You trust Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid over Bo Nix and Sean Payton in this moment. Chiefs lost that game. So you're right. They won this game in 24. They won this game in 23. They won this game in 22. The Chiefs of the Dynasty era have always won this game. The 2025 Chiefs have not won this game. That's my first point. Secondarily, I don't want people to hear this as I think Daniel Jones is a better quarterback historically than Patrick Mahomes.
Here you go. You're really setting it up.
But in 2025, they've been eerily similar. They outside of their name, they're the same. Do you know who has more passing yards this year? Daniel Jones. Do you know who has a higher completion percent this year? Daniel Jones. Do you know who has more touchdowns? That's Mahomes. Do you know who has more picks? Jones. It's by 1. they're basically the same. If you were looking at statistically, the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL in 2025, Mahomes and Jones are like 6'7". They are like 5'6". They're like the same guy this season. Mahomes has not been the 2022 version of himself. He hasn't been the 2018 MVP of himself. He is, by his own lofty standards, having a down season. And his down season has looked very similar to a great season from Daniel Jones. So if you walk around the plaza, Power and Light, Crossroads, wherever you're at tonight, out in the rain and the cold of Kansas City, and you ask, hey, why are you picking the Chiefs? And Chiefs fans tell you, well, Mahomes is better than Jones, and the Chiefs always win this game. I would tell you, in 2025, neither of those things is super duper accurate. It just feels like we're a lot. The real answer, I think, what Chiefs fans would say is, it's a lot of, Chiefs lore, history, pedigree, all those things, which is all fine and dandy, but it doesn't have any impact on the 2025 team. It hasn't helped them at all this season.
Can you just say that that's the opinion of Rob Britton? Because you and I both know on the text line, somebody on Monday is going to say, oh, you guys said that Daniel Jones and Patrick Mahomes were even. No, you guys did not say that. Sometimes we both say something. I didn't say anything you just said. So I just want you to say that is the opinion of Rob Britton and Rob Britton alone, because I want plausible deniability when inevitably the text line will then, they will be mad at me on Monday when Daniel Jones plays like Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I am telling you that I believe the statistics will believe that those guys are eerily similar this year.
Okay. All right.
That the Spider-Man meme.
Okay. All right. You took it. See what happens? This always happens. You take it a step too far. 913-586-7965. I can't be a part of that. I don't want any parts of that. Where do you think Arrowhead would rank on that list? Because I'm seeing a couple of people acknowledge this is a home game. Do you think Arrowhead ranks on this? Because I don't think Arrowhead is in the top 3 answers for me. I'm not saying that being at home is not important in this game. I'm not saying that at all. But I feel like this whole, the Chiefs have been better at home than they've been on the road is kind of just based off of how they played against the Lions.
I apologize for interrupting. I actually disagree. I think Arrowhead should be number 1. You're right. A lot of people, myself included, saying they play better at home. You want to know why? It's not just the Lions game. Statistically, they've been better at home. They are 1-4 on the road, Carrington. That's bad. Yeah. They're 1-4, and their 1 win is against Russell Wilson. They're 4-1 at home, and their 1 loss
you're right,
is
but
the Super Bowl champion.
You're right. They also played the Commanders at home. They also have played the Raiders at home. So I'm just saying is their home schedule has just been easier than the road schedule. I mean, they've already been on the road to Denver. They've already been on the road to Buffalo.
LA was considered
a road
game,
game, so that's what I mean. Just like so I hear what people say, man, they've been so much better at home than they have been on the road. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess, they lost the game to the Eagles. That game was at home. This game is at home. Like, a lot of it is just based off of how dominant they were against the Lions, which absolutely matters. But I think now, if we're looking at it a little bit retroactively, how we're looking at it is the Lions were maybe a little bit more banged up than we were willing to give credit. The Lions might not also be as good of a team as we thought that they were going into that one. So I'm not here trying to discredit what they did against the Detroit Lions, but I just feel like the whole, hey, they're at home, they play so much better at home than they are on the road. I feel like all of that is just really tied into they beat the Lions at home and not really anything else. So 913-586-7965, I was asking the question, why do you think the Chiefs are winning this game? Because I think the 3 answers are they always win this game, they have to win this game. 2, I would say, is Daniel Jones, and he has been a turnover machine in his career, and more specifically, he's been a turnover machine in his last 2 games. And I think 3 is Patrick Mahomes. They have 15 that, I'm sorry, I know they're 0-5 in these games. They're not going winless in these games. One of those games, Pat does some Pat stuff. He runs around, he makes a play, and he just shows you, hey, I'm still really, really good at this. I don't feel like we've got that play from Patrick Mahomes in 3-4 weeks. What was the last Patrick Mahomes did something that made you say wow and made you sit up like that Leonardo DiCaprio gif and say, ooh, it's been a while since he's done that. All of us think that player is still there. I think you could see that happen on Sunday against the Colts in a game in which we all know that the Chiefs absolutely have to win. Now, I want to play this audio for you guys really quickly. This is Travis Kelce, who met with the media earlier today. Right now, if you were telling me that you were going to give me a free $100 and you wanted me to bet on something regarding the Chiefs, I would not touch the Chiefs on the money line. I would not touch the Chiefs minus the 3.5. I'm not betting on Indianapolis either. This is a pure, I don't know. And the only reason I don't know heading into this game is everything I tell you of why I think the Chiefs are going to win, I also told you last week and they lost. And part of me is like, I don't want to look silly again. If I had to bet on one thing in this game, I'd bet on Travis Kelce. I think he has been the most sure thing in their offense for the last 2 months. Here's Travis Kelce.
Everything is, predicated off of how the offensive line does, how the guys around us do, and obviously the chemistry me and Pat have been able to accumulate over the years. But I think this year is just, every year is different. You got to kind of attack it differently. I think in terms of athleticism and where I feel in terms of health right now, I feel like the offseason definitely helped me to at least get a head start on some of the wear and tear. So it's just the body feels better, but I think the production-wise, our offense in general is having a better season than it was last year. So a lot more weapons.
That was Travis Kelce as he was meeting with the media and talking about his body. I give Travis a lot of credit for this. A lot of athletes talk about refocusing and getting their body back in order. I mean, we see this. There's 25 athletes that say this every single offseason. Man, you know what? I really refocused, and I'm in the best shape of my career, and this year is going to be different. There's a lot of players that end up saying that. I think Travis actually said it and lived it. He is a drastically different player this year than he was last year. He deserves to be celebrated for him putting in the work this offseason, refocusing this offseason, nutrition, working out, training, whatever it is. He is a much more explosive and a much more productive player this season than he was last year. And his over-under just continues to be criminally low, in my opinion. Rob, it's 57.5 heading into this game. I mean, he would have hit the over then in 5 of his last 6 games. So if you were telling me, hey, give me one thing that you feel super strongly about, I gave you a free $100, what would you bet on? I would keep betting on Travis Kelce's overs. I know he's going to get the targets. I know he's going to get the opportunities, and he has made the most out of those opportunities. I know you guys get on our show for being the anti-Travis Kelce show. I mean, he averaged 8.5 yards per catch last year. That's bad for a player of his magnitude. It's bad for anybody. He is now up he's up to 12.6. I mean, he is quite literally 33% better at something. That's a big boost. People would love to see your stock portfolio take a 33% jump in terms of when you catch the ball, what it means. He has more touchdowns this season. So Travis did the talking this offseason, but he has certainly done the walking during the year. He's going to have another 1,000-yard season. I didn't think that was the case. Not after 2023, not after 2024. I didn't hear anybody think that Travis was going to get 1,000 yards this season, but I'd be surprised if he didn't get 1,000 yards. He's at 630 and then got 7 games left. If he just keeps basically doing what he's been doing, he'll have 1,100 yards this season. At this stage in his career, he's had a remarkable year.
He's been one of the, if not the brightest spot in the Chiefs offense. And I agree with him. This Chiefs offense is better than last year. So there's a lot of bright spots on this offense. So it's not like, it's been a down year and Kelce's been good. There's been a lot of bright spots. Man, we make fun of it all the time because it's just a random platitude athletes say every year at camp. I'm in the best shape of my life. I mean, Bubba Starling would say that down in Arizona. Like, okay, super. That's great. I'm happy you're in the best shape of your life. But Travis Kelce, it felt more pointed than that this offseason. It felt like he made a conscious effort and he felt like he was not up to his own high standards from last season. And this year he's back to looking like Travis Kelce. He's back to looking like the first team all-pro tight end. Like, you could argue that he's one of the, if not the best tight end in football right now. He was not that guy last season. He wasn't that guy in 2023. He looks maybe not as good as 2022 Travis Kelce, but he looks far more 2022-ish than he does 2023-ish.
I think Travis made a good point, and we'll play one more cut for you guys from Travis Kelce. I know that we think that other stuff, they got to live their lot, and I get it. Man, the last couple off seasons, Travis has been doing a lot aside from football, and that's perfectly fine. You're allowed to do what you want in your free time. But I'm a big believer that we only have 100% of ourselves. And if you're doing a podcast and you're in a new relationship and you moved and you got family and you're trying to do a game show and you're also trying to be on this FX show, just something goes by the wayside. So it's hard to me to tell me that you were still putting the same time in the gym, same workout, same nutrition, same doing all those things, and everything about your life is just so drastically different and pulling away and taking the time. Travis didn't have that kind of offseason this year. Travis wasn't recording a television show on Amazon Prime. He wasn't doing all of that. He was on set for Happy Gilmore for one day. He really isn't in the movie. You're in there a little bit. You have a couple of lines. Hey, you're there. You say hi to Bad Bunny, hi to Adam Sandler, and you go home. So he said, hey, the last couple of years I've been more focused on entertainment, doing this stuff. I want to get back to basics. I think that's evidence. That happened this year. He did get back to doing those things, and I think you're seeing the results on Sunday. He looks more explosive this season than he did last year. Maybe you're making the argument, well, their offense is more complete. Maybe that's the case. Last year, it was noticeable last year that he wasn't a very explosive player. That hasn't been the case this year. Here's Kelsey talking about his future with the team.
You know, seeing my brother go through it and seeing, just how the league works. You know, the season kind of restarts in April, and I want to give the Chiefs a good opportunity to, whether I come back or not, and vice versa, like whether they want me back or not. It's one of those things where I'd like to make that decision before they got to get draft picks and the free agency opens, so that it gives them an opportunity to go out there and fill the roster appropriately. So all that will be at the end of the season, and I won't be thinking about it until then.
I think there is a chance that Travis Kelce comes back, because we kind of use his brother's career as a guideline. His brother was kind of in the same situation. So his brother signed a 3-year, $25 million deal. That contract then expired. He then signed a 1-year contract. He then signed another 1-year contract, and then he finally retired in June of 2024. So he signed early. He signed a 6-year deal. He then restructured that in the middle, signed another deal. That deal expired. Jason then signed 2 1-year contracts to stay in Philadelphia, play out the string, and then obviously he retired, and he's having a great post-NFL career with all the cool media stuff that he's doing. I think there's a chance that Travis comes back. I really do. I think there's a chance. And it's not 100% on either way, but he just doesn't have the feel of somebody to me that is maybe 100% ready to go. Let's see how the rest of the season plays itself out. Let's see how he feels. But if Travis Kelce has 1,000 yards receiving this year and has 7 touchdowns, still feels very good, healthy, still has the fire, I could very easily see him coming back next year on let's say it's a 1-year, $10 million deal with incentives that can get to $17 million. He gets to stay in Kansas City one more year, and he plays it kind of year by year. I don't think that's outside the realm of possibility for Travis Kelce. Coming up at the top of the hour, Nate Taylor will join us in studio. Keep it right here, so drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Get ready, Missouri. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is coming soon. Starting on December 1st, new customers in Missouri can get up to $300 in bonus bets when you make your first $5 bet. From touchdowns to three-pointers, with FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. With live betting, you can even get in on the action after the game has already started. All on an app that's safe, secure, and easy to use. Visit FanDuel.com/Missouri to learn more. And you'll be all set to bet when FanDuel goes live in Missouri on December 1st. That's FanDuel.com/Missouri. Play your game of FanDuel, the #1 rated sportsbook app. Must be 21 and present in Missouri. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Offer starts 12/1/25. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG.
Numerous brands to choose from. Endless options. One incredible experience. At Aristocrat Motors, we treat every driver like royalty and offer the finest luxury vehicle experience in Kansas City. Come see us today and let us roll out the red carpet for you.
I'm McCall from Lee Summit Subaru, and we're committed to helping our community through the Subaru Love Promise, like our commitment to Hillcrest Transitional Housing to help solve homelessness. Lee Summit Subaru also sponsors several pet adoption clinics like Midwest Animal Rescue and events each year, such as Dogtoberfest. It's all part of the Subaru Love Promise, and we're committed to helping our community fall in love with driving again at Lee Summit Subaru. LeeSummitSubaru.com.
Hi, I'm Sam Silvio with M. Shamus Brazilian Grill in the village of Burlington Creek. Holidays will be here before you know it, and M. Shamus is ready to get a jingle from you. From our all-you-can-eat hot and cold gourmet salad bar to our 12 cuts of beef, lamb, pork, or chicken. Go to mshamus.com to order our famous Brazilian glazed holiday hams in advance, or set a holiday party date for a table of 1 to a party of 100. Go to mshamus.com and discover the joy of dining.
This season, the perfect gift is back, the McRib. Now at McDonald's, you can buy a McRib extra value meal with medium fries and a medium soft drink, like a Dr. Pepper, and add another McRib sandwich for just $1 to give to someone special. Someone special. That could be anyone, right? Like I'm special. Listen to how well I do the jingle. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Valid for item of equal or lesser value. Dr. Pepper is a registered trademark of Dr. Pepper 7-Up, Inc.
Arvest Bank believes in the power of serving others. That's why we're committed to supporting those who serve our communities. We believe that all communities deserve a financial partner who cares. Arvest. We believe.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening, because health is a long game and it's yours to win. Now, here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi? Learn more at depend.com.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
J. Rieger & Co. Oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City. J. Rieger & Co. Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Winner of Best Craft Bourbon at the 2025 Ascot Awards. At 90 proof, it's rich, well-balanced, and oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
You've got a crash, Bonner Springs. K7 northbound, it is just past South 130th. Be prepared to tap your brakes there. Down south, still working this crash, 470 eastbound as you approach 71. Move to the left, it's the right lane blocked. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
This is 96.5 The Fan, your home for Chiefs football.
All right, back into the show. My name is Carrington Harrison. Really happy to be here with you on this wonderful, wonderful Red Friday. We are going to be joined by Nate Taylor coming up in a little bit. I know it's a Red Friday. I do want to talk about this KU situation for just a little bit. Bill Self today confirmed that Darren Peterson is not going to be available for the games that they have coming up in Las Vegas. Quote, "We're not going to have Darren in Vegas." He also added in that they play 3 games in 3 days, and that is the biggest reason on why Darren Peterson is not going to play in these games. Rob, I certainly want to give you the room to get your comments in as a KU alum and a season ticket holder. I think the KU fans have to show a little bit of patience here with the Darren Peterson situation. I think they got to show a little bit of patience here. And I know that's tough to say. And I know that I was the one screaming that it was load management from the beginning. I think it is obvious now that is not the case. You do not sign up to go play basketball in college and at Kansas, and then you miss the Madison Square Garden games and the games in Las Vegas. Those are the games you want to play in. Those are the games in front of NBA scouts. So you are not choosing to sit out of those games. I also think, let's calm down. These November basketball games are not that important. You really want them there for the January ones. I would say that Kansas basketball season starts, and I'm not even saying this because I'm a fan. Their season starts in December against Missouri. Or maybe you want to say that their season starts in December against UConn. They play UConn on Tuesday. They play Missouri on Saturday. That's the real start. Now, I understand if you are a KU fan and you're a season ticket holder and you contribute to NIL and you're thinking, hey, we spent money on this player. We have contributed. You guys were down last year. You asked us to donate. We donated. We got you the number 1 overall player. We want to see him in action. That feels like the target date to me, and I think everyone with the Kansas basketball program knows it. That is a game in Allen Fieldhouse. That is his Allen Fieldhouse debut. I don't care about the game against Green Bay. A Tuesday game that's going to be on ESPN against UConn in a sold-out crowd, that is his debut. That should be the target date. So I wouldn't worry about these games in Vegas. Don't worry about them. The committee's not going to penalize you for them that much anyway because of the context of you not having Darren Peterson. So show a little bit of patience. And you still got 2 more weeks until you play the game against UConn. That will be 3 weeks of him sitting back and getting treatment and healing up and resting up for those games in that week against UConn and against Missouri. So that is as fair and neutral of an opinion that I can have. I would just suggest calm down a little bit with Darren. There's a lot of frustration. I don't think that there needs to be the case. I think that he is legitimately injured. And now, if he doesn't play in that UConn game or doesn't play in the Missouri game, I think something is really wrong. And I think they have played it wrong because they keep spinning it like he's right around the corner and that he can come back. But until he misses the UConn and Missouri game, I don't really think it's that much reason to be super worried about what's happening right now.
Me and you see this the exact same way. First off, I know there were some fans that were disgruntled that he is not playing in the Players Era tournament in Vegas. And I understand that. I have some friends, I have some people are KU fans in my life who are, hey, for Thanksgiving week, we're going to Vegas. We're going to see the Players Era thing. We're going to see Darren Peterson. We're going to spend the week in Vegas. It's warm. It's nice. I know people going to that tournament. Like these preseason tournaments, fans tend to go to them. So I know people who made the investment to go to Las Vegas, and they feel a little upset. And I feel bad for those people, but let's be honest. Notre Dame and Syracuse and whoever their third game is going to be out in Vegas, 3 games in 3 days is stupid. For a hamstring injury. If it isn't a soft tissue injury where, hey, he can tweak it and make it worse, keep waiting. I also agree with you. UConn's got to be the target date because he played against North Carolina, which was on November 7th. He then missed the Corpus Christi game, which I believe was on the 11th. So he hasn't played since November 7th. By the UConn game, that's basically a month. You've had a month to rest up your hamstring. You've had a month to get back to 100%. Bill Self today, he's doing side work at practice. He's getting closer. The reevaluation comment feels like it went well. All the things. UConn, Missouri, North Carolina State. Somewhere in that window, that 3-game stretch, he has to be back on the court. Or then you're starting to tiptoe into late December, early January, where you need him on the court because you saw against Duke. This team is built around him, and him standing in street clothes makes this team. I saw Melvin Counsell with the media, and he said it perfectly. They're a scrappy defensive team without him. With him, they're a lot better. So you can't get into conference play not knowing the situation with Darren Peterson.
Text line 913-586-7965. CDOT, doesn't this feel like the Michael Porter Jr. situation at Missouri all over again? No. I mean, I know I called him Darren Porter Jr., but this is serious. No. Michael Porter had back surgery the second week of the college basketball season. Surgery? That's not what's happening. Darren Peterson is practicing with KU. He's just not playing in the games right now. So the fact that he is practicing, the fact that he is dressing out, the fact that he is on the sideline and engaged with the team is a very, very positive sign. Darren Peterson is going to play basketball at Kansas. I can't tell you exactly when it is going to start, but I feel like he is going to play a significant amount of games this season for the University of Kansas. It is unfortunate that this happened, but I think most fans would agree it is much better that this injury happened in November and the very beginning of the season than he played in November, he played in December, he then pulls a hamstring in January, and he misses 10 games of conference play, and you can't really undo that in that point. So, again, I think, Rob, you and I are the same place. At the beginning of December, they play UConn on the 2nd, and then they play Missouri that weekend. That is what I would look at his target date of when he can potentially come back and play for the Kansas Jayhawks. I want to play a couple of pieces of audio for you guys before Nate Taylor joins us in studio. Here is Peter Schrager of ESPN's Get Up.
I'm not ready to declare this season over, AFC West or the AFC in general. They're 0-5 in one-score games. They were 12-0 in those games last year. So you say, well, what's the problem? It's very confusing. They have all the same players. They have all the healthy guys they need. They have all the same coaching staff. Little things matter, though. Guys, they had 10 penalties last week. They don't do that usually. They had an extra point blocked last week. That doesn't happen. They gave up an 80-yard punt return to Marvin Mims. That doesn't happen against that special teams unit. So the little things are starting to matter. I think they can still tighten up. And I look at this matchup. I know we're ready to crown the Colts and Tanner Bortolini. I know we love a good Tanner Bortolini film. I do. I love that. I love it.
It's a great meatball.
It is good. That said, I don't know, Mahomes with the season on the line at Arrowhead, I'll take Mahomes in this game on 1 o'clock on Sunday.
So that was Peter Schrager of ESPN's Get Up. I'll play one more cut for you guys. This is Danny Parkins. I think the public is going to hold on to the Chiefs until they absolutely are forced to give them away. You're going to have to pry the Colts from a lot of people's dead fingers when it comes to it. I mean, it's hard to erase what you've seen them do for the last 7 seasons.
It's a massive spot, but somehow it is less big for them than it would be for any other team in the exact same position. Like, if they are the 9 seed in the AFC, they are about to be 5-6 if they lose, and they lose a ton of tiebreakers against the teams they are chasing. Any other team, I think 31 of 32, in that exact spot, we'd all come in here on Monday and be like, well, the season's over.
Yeah.
Is anyone prepared to come in on Monday and say the season's over if they lose?
No, Wild's going to say they have a 33%. Wild's a slave to the number.
All right, fair enough.
I'm going to say they have a 15%.
Right, Brew has it down to 15%.
Chance 15%. If they lose.
And I just think
and I get why it's the pedigree.
And I think that annoys a lot of people. And like Nick, as a Kansas City and a diehard fan, he makes the case eloquently and fervently and all of that. But like, it's totally reasonable. It's totally reasonable to say, like, the Chiefs could run the table. Like, they could beat the Texans and the Cowboys and the Chargers and the Broncos and the Titans and the Raiders. Like, that would not be ridiculous. And it would also not be ridiculous to say, like, if this was the Eagles, the defending Super Bowl champs, we'd say they're done.
I'm not here to disagree with what Danny said. I think that's the argument that a lot of people will have. I thought Florio said it well. Man, we are running out of time. We're running out of time. I love the Electoral College example. Man, at some point, you got to start winning states. And you keep losing all these states. Eventually, man, the math ain't mathin'. The math is very simple for the Kansas City Chiefs. They have to go 11-6. So, yes, if they lose this game, yes, they are still mathematically available. And we will say, well, they can win this game and this game and this game. I mean, at some point, you got to go on a 5 or 6 game win streak to turn your season around. And just, I asked the question, what have the Chiefs done in 2025 to make you think they can do that? I think all of that changes if you win this game. We have been saying this on this show. The Chiefs have a 6-day window to completely change their fortune. But that starts with you winning on Sunday against the Colts. We got Nate Taylor of ESPN joining us in the studio next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for K-State Athletics, 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
You've got a crash, Bonner Springs. K7 northbound, it is just past South 130th. Be prepared to tap your brakes there. Down south, still working this crash, 470 eastbound as you approach 71. Move to the left, it's the right lane blocked. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Target brings more taste, more flavor, and more deals to your Thanksgiving table. Save big on affordable holiday crowd pleasers, like select elevated sides and appetizers from Good & Gather for only $4.99. Favorite day pies for a sweet finishing touch, also just $4.99. And don't forget, great tasting turkey for only 79 cents a pound. So many cravings, so many ways to save. Step into the holidays and elevate your Thanksgiving today. Only at Target. Restrictions apply.
Hey, football fans, tune in this week to kick off with Boomer and Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and storylines from across the NFL. Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by the Home Depot. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Available at the Home Depot. How pros get more done.
It's holiday cheers time. And Gomer's Fine Wines and Liquors is here for it. With 5 locations, a wide selection, great prices, and friendly service. Gomer's Fine Wines and Liquors. Family owned and KC proud since 1969.
Hey, Zach, are you smiling at my gorgeous canyon view?
No, Donald. I'm smiling because I've got something I want to tell the whole world.
Well, do it. Shout it out.
T-Mobile's got home internet.
Whoa, I love that echo. T-Mobile's got home internet.
How much is it?
Look at that, Zach. We got the neighbor's attention.
Just $35 a month. And you love a great deal, Denise.
Plus, they've got a 5-year price guarantee. That's 5 whole trips around the sun.
I'm switching. Me too.
Yes, T-Mobile home internet for the neighborhood.
Donald, you still haven't returned my weed whacker.
Carl, don't you embarrass me like this, please.
What's everyone yelling about?
T-Mobile's got home internet. And Donald's got my weed whacker.
Yes, T-Mobile's got home internet. Just $35 a month with auto pay and any voice line. And it's guaranteed for 5 years.
Beautiful yodeling, Carl.
Taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com/ISP for details and exclusions.
Get ready, Missouri. Kickoff is near. The world's largest sports book is coming to your fingertips. Circa Sports, it's sports betting the way it should be. With high and transparent app limits, low holds, and exceptional customer service. Start betting like a pro in Missouri on December 1st. Learn about your new bookie today at circasports.com. The world's largest sports book at your fingertips. Circa Sports launches December 1st.
Hey, Kansas City, it's Brian Pringle with Victory Ford at the Legends in KCK. Looking for a better car buying experience? At Victory Ford, we do things differently. Friendly, knowledgeable people who actually listen. Clear, upfront pricing with no games or gimmicks, and financing that fits your life. Whether you're hunting a rugged truck, a family SUV, or a fuel-smart commuter, our team walks you through every option so you drive away confident. Got a trade? We pay top dollar. No haggling, just a fair, honest offer so your next ride is within reach. Need financing? Our excellent financing specialists work with multiple lenders to get you competitive terms, even if your credit isn't perfect. We're easy to get to from anywhere in the city, conveniently located at the Legends in KCK, just off 435 and Parallel Parkway, down the street from the Kansas Speedway and Nebraska Furniture Mart. Stop by, take a test drive, and feel the difference of a dealership that treats you like a neighbor. Visit us today at the Legends in KCK or victoryfordkc.com. Victory Ford, where our first price is better than their last.
Hey friends, it's noisy out there with information coming at us all day, every day. It's hard to know what to trust, and the world of wealth management is no exception. That's why UMB Private Wealth Management helps you tune out the noise and tune into what matters most. They'll create a financial plan based on your unique goals, so it's your voice that comes through loud and clear. Get financial clarity. Go to umb.com/privatewealth to schedule an appointment. That's umb.com/privatewealth.
Dane Hughes here. I've seen a lot of stat lines in my playing days, but these numbers, they caught my attention. Flight by Yingling. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, and all the crisp, refreshing flavor you want in a light beer. It's brewed by the oldest brewery in America, so you know it's got some serious history behind it. If you're into stats and taste, you're going to love this beer. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer and the official beer of Dane and Hughes. DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Andy's Frozen Custard. Visit eatandys.com to find the location nearest you. Top your day with a smile.
Let me tell you about my good friend Andy from Andy's Frozen Custard. He's from Kansas City, never misses a game, and serves the world's finest frozen custard. Tailgate with a pick six, or grab a freshly made custom treat before or after a game. And tell him Mitch and Andy sent you.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at TheFan965 for behind-the-scenes videos like MVP Monday, Chiefs Take Tuesday, and Best Bets. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ, FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. 4 o'clock on Friday can only mean one thing. From St. Joe to Sao Paulo to Santa Clara, he's there every step of the way. And nobody knows the Chiefs like Nate Taylor.
They will move Joe Tooney to left tackle.
Now of ESPN, join CDOT on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
We are really happy right now to be joined in studio by Nate Taylor of ESPN. Nate, there is so much to get into and so much to get your thoughts on. Let's go back for just a little bit before we skip ahead and then come to Sunday's game against the Colts. What was it like for you, who has been there for all of these Chiefs fourth quarters, where I think everybody in Kansas City feels, hey, if this is a one-score game with 5 minutes to go, the Chiefs are going to win this game. Right. Pat will make a play. Right. Andy will dial something up. Spags will dial up a blitz. They will make the play to win the game, especially when they need to have it. Mm-hmm. They had 2 consecutive offensive drives. They ran 6 plays, back-to-back 3-and-outs. Pat threw the interception. They had the block extra point. The Chiefs lost that game in a lot of ways on Sunday. What is it like for somebody who has had a front row seat to all of these amazing comebacks, watch them fumble away the final 5-8 minutes of this game?
It is the strangest thing, man. And I'm glad you sort of framed it that way because I remember when I was in Sao Paulo that I was like, oh, this is good. Like, I remember leaving the stadium like, oh, interesting. All right, well, I mean, I understood what Chris Jones was trying to do, and you know, it is the offense's fault because they were comatose for the first half. So, all right, well, that's cool. That's interesting. The loss to the Eagles, I felt, did more psychological damage to the Chiefs than in Sao Paulo. When they lost to the Jaguars, that is literally the funniest game I've seen in quite a time because I want to remind people how well Patrick played even after he threw the pick six, right? He comes back, takes him right down the field. Hey, we need a touchdown. We need to make it to where the only way Jacksonville can win is if they respond with their own touchdown. Well, the Chiefs, as we all know, did something they never did last year, which is let any quarterback of any caliber really walk them down the field in a 2-minute drill situation. So that was like comical in terms of like how bad they lost that game. The Bills game, it's like, well, you guys do this every year. All right, well, hey, get yourself a bye week. It's been an up and down season. Okay, you know, at the time, I think I remember writing like, hey, this is the first time they are technically out of the playoff picture entering the bye week in the Patrick Mahomes era. So, hey, but hey, you know, Rasheed Rice was suspended. You had guys banged up. You know, we really didn't even see Xavier Worthy to week 4. You know, the defense has been up and down, but they usually get better as the season goes along too. 6-4, or 5-4, whatever it was at the time. Okay, dog. There's no shocked. I was really shocked, Carrington, that the Broncos, and maybe this informs us now looking back, but I just want to remind people, I should look it up on the box score. But in the fourth quarter, to your point, Sean Payton, who is pretty aggressive in his own right, understands exactly who he's playing, knowing that Patrick Mahomes is the quarterback on the other side of the field, basically said, oh, it's 4th and 6 from Kansas City's 36? Cool. We'll just kick a field goal. We'll just tie the game up. And at the time, I was like, you sure about that? Because there's 4 minutes left. You're not getting the ball back with any real time or real estate to do anything. Oh, nope, I was wrong. They just went 3 and out. And 3rd and 15, ultimately a poor decision by Steve Spagnuolo because the Broncos, and I think I said this earlier in the week, the Broncos literally triple-teamed Chris Jones to start that play. Anyone else but him, we dare you to get pressure. Didn't get pressure. Bo Nix finds, Cortland Sutton on a nice little adjustment to his route because I think Jalen Watson had him covered pretty well initially. And then it's sort of the secondary play that led to the first down conversion. So that was the first time where I was really like, wow, this is stunning. You guys are 5 like, it was almost like being in the locker room looking at them being like, you 5-5, right? Like, it's almost Thanksgiving. What is this? So, yeah, been very strange. I can explain about 3 of the 5 losses. Again, the fourth, the Jacksonville loss is comical, but I think the actual first game where I was actually concerned was Sunday, because against Buffalo, it's like, hey, that's Buffalo's Super Bowl. They actually showed you a lot that you should improve on, which is actually helpful for you going into the bye week. And then you come out the bye week and they don't have the amount of concentration and focus they should have. Their game plan is questionable at best. And then you let a team hang around, even though you had the lead in the fourth quarter, to where Denver could sort of turn the tables on you. That was the one that's actually made me concerned. And now, unfortunately, their backs are to the wall. Like I heard you earlier today in the car, driving around. Like, yeah, there's no margin of error. The Texans winning last night does not help them in the standings whatsoever. So they desperately need to win, Sunday against the Colts.
I always say this about interviews. I don't care how good the question you ask is. The other person has to be willing to answer the question, And I'm sure you get this in your mention. You guys don't ask the tough questions.
Dog.
You were the one who pressed Andy Reid about all the things that people are upset about. Hey, why don't you guys run the ball more? Why don't you do this more?
Yep.
You were the one that did this.
Uh-huh.
How did you feel about the way that he answered those questions? And I guess for me, the way that they run the football does not work. It does not work.
That's why I asked you.
I know, it does not work. And in my opinion, the number one responsibility of coaching is to get the most out of the talent that you have on the roster.
Yes.
And I don't think anybody can argue that they are getting the most out of Isaiah Pacheco, the most out of Kareem Hunt, the most out of Brashard Smith. They cannot run the football effectively. And if you were telling me that over the course of these next 7 games, they got to go 6-1, you are not doing it with 7 go be great games. That is not how this works. One of those games, pat those for 2-10, and you have to run the football effectively. Can you do that? The Chiefs are going to have to answer that question at some point. What did you make of your back and forth, your exchange with Andy? What do you make of their offense?
You can't. It's not like I'm trying to do gotcha questions. It's not like I'm trying to press him like I think some people do want us to do from time to time. I'm trying to provide a framework to where it's not just a blanket no. I don't think anybody wants to hear that in a press conference. Like, well, why don't you guys do this? And it's just like, it's a closed-in question. So I want to give him the options to expand on where I'm trying to get him to go in terms of the framework of the question. And he knows the statistics. I know he knows all the statistics about them being quite efficient when they choose to run the ball under center, which is an actual threat to the defense versus, as we've all talked about, in shotgun, multiple guys in the backfield. Maybe it's an RPO, but it's really leaning heavily. I mean, all the numbers say the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, they lean heavily to the pass in the RPO portion of their playbook. So the question I asked him was, how much can you actually change your scheme during the course of the season, especially in the second half, once you've had your bye week to self-evaluate? It's year 27. He's been a coach for 27 years, ladies and gentlemen. He's a master at this stuff. And he didn't really want to acknowledge it. He acknowledged it a little and just said, there are smaller things we have to correct. Nate, we're this close. And he put his index finger and his thumb very close to one another. We got to now I know part of him is saying, if we don't do stupid penalties, we wouldn't be in so many situations where we don't have the chance to maybe run the football more, even if that's under center or not. But he really didn't want to ask the question because, and I'm led to believe, this was the scheme they came into with. They got all the players healthy outside of Isaiah Pacheco, and he's going to go swinging with what they have tried to do this season, even though the Broncos and the Bills have informed them that your receivers, if you put 4 of them out there, they are not beating, this nickel cornerback, this third safety. You're not winning those matchups as favorable as we used to see in like 2022 or 2018 when it was like air it out, spread them. You know, we can just throw this thing all around.
This is kind of my take, and I'm sorry to cut you off here, but I'm curious to get your thoughts on this. I think the Chiefs have a lot of zone beaters.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a lot of man beaters.
And they don't accentuate the players who can beat man coverage. And
like Tyquan Thornton.
Or Xavier Worthy. Hollywood Brown can do it in moments. He has not done great in man-to-man coverage. The interception that Patrick Mahomes had against the Washington Commanders, that is against man coverage where Patrick says, well, okay, it might be sticky, but I'll put it in a spot that only you should get it. A little behind you, little back shouldery. Wait, what? He intercepted it? Like, that is in more sense more on the receiver than the quarterback based on what he was trying to do with the placement of the football. They don't use, the problem is, yes, we all understand Rashee Rice has the talent to be a number one receiver. This year was about demonstrating that, improving that over the course of the year. So you had to have known that defenses were going to be like, okay, he's as good as he was when we last saw him healthy, which means he ate up zone coverages and he worked off Kelsey really well. And Lord, let's not have a linebacker near him. So what did the Bills do? Okay, well, let's have more DBs on the field and let's just see if you can, win one-on-one. That's not, a back shoulder fade in the red zone. The Broncos asked a question. The Bills asked a question. I assume the Colts will ask the question, especially with Sauce Gardner and Travarius Ward.
They got two high-end corners.
Yes. Can you beat man coverage with Rashee Rice in the intermediate area when he can't get a free release in zone coverage? He has not proven to do that. So that is his season for the next 7 weeks because to your point, Carrington, I think you're right that if they're going to run more mesh, if they're going to run more man-beating, whip routes, change of direction, corner post, those have to largely come from Xavier Worthy and Tyquan Thornton because they can use their speed to create more separation.
Right now, we're joined in studio by Nate Taylor of ESPN. We'll get to the Colts here coming up in just a little bit. I kind of want to talk overarching about some of the things that you're seeing, and we'll talk specifically about this game and also Buffalo and Houston here coming up in just a little bit. Of all the areas on the team that I think have been disappointing, the number one answer to me is their defensive line. Let's remove Chris Jones from this. Let's remove George Karlaftis from this. Mike Dana has one sack this season.
It's sad. It's
Think
sad.
about it.
Guys, don't.
He has one sack. Charles Omenihu.
Stop asking.
This was a contract year. This was the year that Charles Omenihu was supposed to have his Deshaun Wharton season.
Yep.
He was supposed to have 6.5, 7 sacks this season, go off next year to go play for the Seattle Seahawks, but you signed a 3-year, $30 million deal and got $21 million guaranteed.
Right.
That's what this season was supposed to be for Charles Omenihu. I think if you want to look at on the defense, where do you see the flaws? Where do you see the cracks? Those two things seem obvious to me. Mike Dana and Charles Omenihu have severely underperformed this season. I think that's number one. And number two, they made one change to their defense. It was going to get Christian Fulton. He doesn't play.
And he shouldn't play. And I just, hey, you tried it out in a divisional game where we all said you, A, should win, and B, you kind of need to win the game if you want to have a shot to chase the Broncos down in the second half of the season for the divisional crown. Okay. I've seen it. I don't need to see Christian Fulton unless there's some injury, right? Now, maybe he can get better over the next month, I guess. That's always a possibility. But right now they need to, feed into the development of Noah Williams. Who, buddy, when it comes to the defensive line, guys, let me just repeat this one more time. Because Spags, to his credit to some degree, was like, you know what? Bo Nix is somewhat athletic. And you know what? We kind of got burned by Trevor Lawrence when we didn't really put a spy on him in a late game situation. So you know what? I'm going to put Leo Chenal in the spy situation. I'm going to make it kind of look like we're blitzing, but we're actually not. We're going to just play straight up 7-man in coverage. We got a spy, 3-man pressure. Somebody going to get home, right? It's 3rd and 15. He got to hold the football. Guys, the Broncos dedicated 3 offensive linemen to Chris Jones. Charles Omenihu tried to use a speed rush. It did not work. George Karlaftis tried to use more of a bull rush. He kind of got hemmed up. Guys, that's your season. whether that's Sunday against Indianapolis, later on in the year, maybe Christmas Day against the Broncos in the rematch. Who knows if the Chiefs make the wild card round? Again, I think they are talented enough to still make the playoffs. But what that informed me, Carrington, is yes, the pass rush is lacking. Chris Jones is still having, on analytics, next-gen stats, traditional stats, still one of the best seasons for a defensive tackle. And that's about it. You know, you're getting bonuses if Charles Omenihu finds consistency. You're getting bonus if George Karlaftis can be consistent half to half. He has good halves. I don't know if he has good games yet this season, which has kind of been a little bit troubling given they gave him the contract. But hey, at least you know he's capable. This is it. Shane Steichen knows what's coming on third down, guys. It's a blitz. You tell me it's an important third down Sunday against the Colts. It's got to be a blitz. Because too often, Chris Jones has to either beat a double team, which we all know is, you know, asking a lot, even for great players at times, but a triple team with no one else helping, with, you know, a spy that I guess did keep Bo Nix in the pocket, but if you give a quarterback time, he's going to find someone open in 2.5, 3, going on 4 seconds. So Omar Norman-Lott sort of torpedoed their entire plan. And that's just the reality. Because he was going to show, I think, some juice in the pass rushing department. He was going to take a little bit of snap pressure off of Chris Jones, because Chris Jones got to be on the field every third down. And if it's second and long, he probably needs to be on the field those plays too. He's playing, again, an enormous amount of snaps for someone who's 31 as a defensive tackle, not an edge rusher, a defensive tackle, being in the trenches, again, being double teamed consistently. Their best plan, Carrington, is go after the quarterback and see if you can speed him up, see if you can lead to mistakes, some, you know, missed timing in the rhythm department of the quarterback and the receiver. And, you know, for a defense that doesn't prioritize turnovers, they need to start getting turnovers sooner rather than later, because if they just want to fall back on playing traditional defense, to your point, that pass rush isn't good enough.
Right now, we're joined in studio by Nate Taylor of ESPN. We'll get to specifically the game against the Colts here coming up in a bit. Last question, at least in this segment, and then we'll break after this. Every building has an energy. Every building has a mood. Mm-hmm. You've been in that locker room. Guys are listening to music. Guys are playing basketball. Guys are guys are just having a good time.
Yes.
You've been in that mood where you could tell people are pissed. What was the mood?
That was yesterday.
You know what I'm saying? What was the mood? What was the energy in the locker room? Because you've seen all different versions of this team. What is the mood around this team with how things have gone so far this season?
So yesterday, I sensed a lot of, like, we are really upset with the way things have gone. It was interesting to me that Travis Kelce chose to speak to us today as another voice, another leader. He tried to present like, hey, it's about focus, execution, which I largely agree with. You know, he tried to do his best to give cover. No, the coaches are figuring it out. We're going to figure it out. There was a little bit more joy and optimism during today's practice, and that's usually the case after a Friday when you've done the, you know, work week. You've got everything in from a game plan standpoint. I think there is some positives that Xavier Worthy is going to play Sunday with the left ankle injury, and then Kizzy Suamataia appears to be on track given the league's concussion protocol. So we did see him. He seemed to be in a pretty good mood after going through, you know, today's practice. So at least on offense, there's a little bit more positivity. You know, I still think the defense is trying to figure out what its identity is in terms of like how much of an aggressor they want to be. So I'm actually more interested to see the defense in Sunday's game than the offense. But I think for the most part, this is a focus group that is trying not to like overthink things or press. And I understand we are human beings. You don't want these guys to be robots. But I do think there was a sense yesterday of like, okay, we really got to get our you-know-whats together. And then today it was like, okay, that was the last practice of the week. We feel good about ourselves. All we got to do now is go out there and showcase it. And it's fascinating, Patrick. It's fascinating that Patrick said, you know, we still have 7 games left to write our season. And if that's the mentality, if that's the way you want to speak publicly and to your teammates, that first paragraph on Sunday better be excellent, because there's not many other avenues that this team can go from a psychological standpoint if they happen to lose against the Colts.
That's just where I've struggled, at least when talking about this game, is I'm, we all are in this business. Like, you want to have fresh, new content. I'm guessing you could have taken everything you wrote about the Broncos game, changed Bo Nix, entered Daniel Jones, erased Broncos, put Colts, and you could have just cut and copied almost every single thing that you did last week, because every superlative that mattered last week matters this week. Other than bye week, everything else matters. They're healthy. They got to have it kind of game. It feels like their season is on the line. Important AFC opponent. Last week it was the division. Now it's about making the playoffs. So some of it is, if you were picking against the Chiefs, I understand it from this perspective. You fooled me the first time. You got me last week. I'm not going to let you fool me again. But then there's that other side of it is, I'm not ready to give up on the Chiefs. Not what I've seen them do for 5, 6, 7 seasons. And it feels like if they lose this game for the first time in a long time, you're going to have to say, man, I just don't believe in this team anymore. You have fooled me too many times in 2025. I will not let you do it again. Like, this to me is much more of a psyche, morale. I got to see if the Chiefs still got it kind of game.
They still working the show me state, my friend. It's time to show us.
For sure.
I completely agree. I know you were asking the audience earlier, like, why do you think the Chiefs will win? Even though I think if we polled everybody, the majority of people would say that, no, I think they'll win. My reason and take on this is they have to win. This game has to matter more to them than the Colts. I'm sorry. It's nice to have a bye week, to be, 8-2. Hey, we got the chance to maybe, stay in the race for the 1 seed. We've been playing, lights out. Hey, we got a new, cool, awesome teammate and Sauce Gardner from the trade deadline. Bro, this game cannot mean more to the Colts than the Chiefs. Circumstances have to dictate that. So if we see that on Sunday, that empirically should be a reason why the Chiefs win this game. They need it more. They have to feel like they need it more. They have more to demonstrate and prove to themselves and perhaps to the rest of the league more than the Colts do at this point. And I'm not saying the Colts aren't talented, because they clearly are, but you got to have this game, because 3 losses in a row would be the first time that that's happened in the regular season with Patrick Mahomes. And again, to both of our comments, where you go from then, like, what's next if that happens? So, all right, Chris Jones, like,
and then just at some point, time matters. Like,
we keep,
you know what I mean? Like, you already have 6 losses, and we think that, and then we think 11-6 is probably the record that you need. So I don't know if you can go from 5-6 heading into Thanksgiving to now, hey, this team's going to win 6 in a row.
Right.
You haven't shown me at any point you have the ability to flip the switch. You couldn't do it against the Bills. You couldn't do it after a bye week against the Broncos. You can't do it at home in this game against the Colts. Like, it's reason maybe the lights just don't work this week. We'll continue our conversation about the Indianapolis Colts. I do want to get your thoughts. My question is, if they couldn't stop James Cook, why do you think they can stop Jonathan Taylor? We'll talk about that next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison. Watch the show on YouTube by subscribing to the 965 YouTube channel. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5, The Fan.
Looking to drive your finances downfield? Main Street Credit Union is the hometown team you can trust. We help you build credit, lower monthly expenses, and finance with confidence. Or if you need a loan to grow your small business, we've got flexible options and no hidden fees. At Main Street, it's not just about the win, it's about keeping Kansas City moving forward. 1 goal, 1 yard, 1 member at a time. Get in the game at mainstreetcu.org.
FanDuel Friday is turning it up with an NBA happy hour every Friday from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. FanDuel is dropping limited time specials to get you in the zone. Boost, bonus, surprises, all designed to give you that Friday energy. This isn't just another promo. It's your weekly pregame NBA happy hour every Friday, 6 to 7:30 Eastern, only on FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NBA. So visit FanDuel.com/KFNZ. Use my promo code to grab your reward before the clock expires. Celebrate the beginning of the NBA season in style. FanDuel is the official sportsbook of the NBA and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. Often required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expirations, league requirements, and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement. Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Get out with your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit kansasgamblinghelp.com.
Hey, Kansas City. This is Jeff Briggs with Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, home of the Victory Effect. Our pledge to drive down vehicle pricing for the city we love. The Black Friday sales event is on all month long, and the manufacturer posted incredible incentives to drive year-end sales. Business owners, listen up. Right now, and only at Victory, you can purchase a brand new 2025 Ram 2500 heavy duty for only $39,988. Folks, when is the last time you've seen a brand new heavy duty truck under $40,000? And guess what? This truck is nicely equipped. 4-wheel drive crew cab with full power, 8-inch touchscreen radio, upgraded work grade interior, and much more. And to sweeten the deal on any new truck purchase now until the end of November, Victory is throwing in a free set of cab length running boards or a spray-in bed liner. You choose. There is no shortage of supply. We stock more heavy-duty trucks than any other dealer in Kansas City. Just stop by, pick one out, and let's do business. Visit us at Kansas City's only automotive outlet mall, the Legends Auto Plaza, on the southeast corner of 435 and Parallel, just east of Nebraska Furniture Mart, or online at victorymotorskc.com, where our first price is better than their last.
Makita's built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts. With tools built to last, job after job, year after year. Performance that pays off, because when the job calls for the best, you answer. And when you need the best, you call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Hello, Crushers. It's your host, DJ Divine, telling you that Candy Crush music season is here. Tasty. Conquer levels to mix your own track and win sweet rewards. Divine. Now let's swipe to the next track. Take it away, Thundercat. Candy Crush music season. Play now. From November 3rd to December 7th, selected players level 36+. Terms apply. See in-game. Optional in-game purchases.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next-day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Straight Talk, we know the holidays are your time to say
yes.
So why put up with a wireless company that makes you say
out of data?
Or
no service here?
Switch to Straight Talk and say yes to real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network covered by Verizon. And with a free 5G phone when you activate select plans, someone else in your family can say yes! Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Based on RootMetrics State of 5G Report, United States 1H 2025. Experiences may vary. Not an endorsement of Verizon. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This one brought to you by Anthony Plumbing, technicians you can trust with your house keys. We've got a problem 35 northbound just before West Penway. It's a doozy. Multi-cars involved. Left lane is blocked. And then also 35 northbound past Johnson. 2-car crash there. Boy, rain is a factor for us today, so please just take your time. Turn recent repairs into savings. Get up to $4,500 off new HVAC systems. Stay comfortable year-round. Schedule now at anthonyphce.com. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Trey Smith from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to the Drive with CDOT on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, so Nate, let's start with this. If Kansas City isn't the team that we expected in the beginning of this season, Buffalo is not that team.
Right.
Baltimore is not that team. Somebody has to go to the Super Bowl out of the AFC. You know what I mean? So I feel like we're playing this game now. Nobody believes in Denver. Nobody believes in Indianapolis. Nobody believes in the Patriots. Well, then who do you think's going to the Super Bowl then?
I have an idea.
This is how I'm looking at it when it comes to this game.
Mm-hmm.
I think both teams have something massive to prove. The Chiefs got to show me that they're the Chiefs still.
Right.
And a lot of our conversation about the Chiefs in 2025 is based off what they did in 2022 or 2023. Not really anything that you've seen in 2025 to lead you to believe that they can beat 4 or 5 playoff teams in a 7-week stretch. The Colts, people will not believe the Colts until you give them a reason to believe. If the Colts go on the road and beat Kansas City in this game, knowing how important this game is for the Chiefs, you cannot tell me the Colts have no chance of winning the Super Bowl. You can't tell me that, not this year in the National Football League. Because the same holes that you can poke in Daniel Jones, I could do that same thing for Bo Nix. Drake May has never played in a postseason game. We think he can win 2 or 3 of those games and go to a Super Bowl. Like, you can just find flaws with anybody.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at this game as a big statement game on either side. Either the Colts are going to go on the road and get the most impressive win of the season in my mind, or Kansas City beats a top 5 team. They got the Cowboys on Thanksgiving where it's going to be 50 million people watching. And then we'll find out if the Chiefs are making the playoffs or not, in my opinion, on Thursday evening.
Okay. So I have an idea. I know their schedule is mostly a cakewalk. I think I have the most faith in the Patriots, honestly, because they can run the football. They have a fun quarterback who appears to be getting better as the season goes along. Their defense is competent enough. We already know they went on the road and beat the Bills. They have probably the easiest path to the 1 seed. You really want to go up to New England and play? I mean, they would have the shortest, as the 1 seed, they would have the shortest path to making the Super Bowl. Mike Vrabel's done it before. He's gotten a team to a conference championship. I kind of like what I see in the Patriots. For the Colts, the best argument I can make probably is get Daniel Jones in the dough. Winning Sunday is going to be interesting because these past 2 games, I know you guys mentioned this already, Daniel Jones has struggled. Those have both been in Pittsburgh, and that has been in Berlin. Now, one's a little bit more, a wild variable because you're going international, and it's the last game before the bye week, and they played an okay team in the Falcons. This is before Michael Penix's injury, of course. Daniel Jones has been lights out in the dome, guys. And you obviously pair that with Jonathan Taylor. Let's see how Sauce Gardner looks, because I don't think Sauce Gardner's worth 2 first-round picks. I was appalled by that trade for the Colts, even though, hey, cool player, definitely can help your team, but you might want a first-round pick in 2027. But okay. If I had to guess right now, outside the Chiefs, I would say I like what I'm seeing with the Patriots, and the Colts could go a long way because winning a game in an environment outside, in a loud place, a desperate team on the road, that would go quite a bit to establish, hey, okay, maybe we should consider you as the top team in the AFC.
I think we're creating a scenario. I think we're creating a scenario where only Drake May can win NFL MVP.
No, stop it. No, get out of here.
I think we're creating that scenario. And that's why, at least for me,
no,
I don't have an MVP vote, so it doesn't really matter.
No.
But if Indianapolis gets the 1 seed, I will vote for Jonathan Taylor to win MVP.
Yes, come on now. What we doing?
He will be the biggest reason why they got the 1 seed. So I asked the question before the break. I'll ask you this now. The Chiefs did not stop James Cook. James Cook did basically whatever he wanted to in this game.
Oof.
If you couldn't stop James Cook, what confidence do Chiefs fans have that they will be able to stop Jonathan Taylor? Because that is objective number 1 if you were going to beat them.
And he's objectively better than James Cook, certifiably better. I imagine Steve Spagnuolo's going to sell out to stop the run. This game plan could be quite similar to what the Chiefs showed against the Ravens. Now, I know the Ravens were dealing with a bunch of injuries on offense, on defense, but they did have, a large portion of their roster available on offense. They did a lot of zero pressure, a lot of blitzing, and that sort of serves two purposes because it obviously creates more people closer to the line of scrimmage in the box, which could, muck up some blocking schemes for the Indianapolis Colts. I know they do a decent amount of RPO as well, but they also get under center more than the Chiefs. So I think if you're Steve Spagnuolo, you just got to come with fire and just see how Daniel Jones reacts, and then you can sort of adjust as the game moves along. But yeah, if they can't obviously the key is to muck up the running scheme with 8 guys in the box. Hell, bring a 9th man down if it's 12 personnel situation where it's just 2 wide receivers on the field with 2 tight ends. See if you can get them behind the down and distance that that teams like to be in. Like, hey, we'd love to be in 2 and 5, not 2nd and 8. We'd love to be at 2nd and 5. And then just hope Daniel Jones gives you 1 or 2 because of his vulnerability as someone who could be strip sacked and someone who could put the ball up there, where it's a 50-50 shot for a potential interception. Tackle. Good luck tackling, man, because, there was times they had some leaks against Saquon Barkley, but they did a very good job, I thought, against Derrick Henry, and they're going to have to do something very similar with Jonathan Taylor. Now, from a speed standpoint, you can say, well, Nate, is this more like Jahmyr Gibbs with the Lions? That is, to this date, still the Chiefs' best win. Well, yes, but they got the Lions in more 4th downs, and that put more pressure on Jared Goff. And we knew that he didn't, we all saw he wasn't as consistent on 4th down as he was on 3rd down. So, no need in wasting time if you're Steve Spagnuolo. Like, 1st, 3rd down, let's get crazy. Like, whether it's a zone blitz, a fire cell blitz, hell, let's do cover 0, engage 8. I don't care. But they got to find a way to get the ball more in Daniel Jones's hands, of course, than Jonathan Taylor. Because to me, and I know somebody's like, look, I just praised Drake May for 90 seconds. There ain't no way this man should be the MVP. No.
You and I know how it is.
Stop it. But I know this because my own editors I
wouldn't vote for Drake May to win MVP.
Neither would I. My own editors were like, hey, we think it's a 3 race for the MVP. Who would you vote for right now? And I was like, a 3-person race, and Drake May was one of them. And I just said, guys, we're doing way too much.
Who was the other 2 people?
It's the 2 people that matter. Jonathan Taylor and, have you seen Matthew Stafford?
Okay, that's fair.
God. Matthew Stafford has been playing insane given his own age, injuries. How much time does he have left? It's a credit to. Oh, man, they got Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, and nothing else matters. It's pretty great. It's just, Matthew Stafford's been playing great. I still think the MVP right now, I would give it to Jonathan Taylor because he's having to lift more than Drake May, who's in a pretty good system. And again, light schedule. And Matthew Stafford, who is just ripping them. Intermediate zone, deep zone, just piling up the touchdowns and the yards. Obviously, they had a impressive win last week against the Seahawks, so they are on track to be the 1 seed in the NFC. But I would pick Jonathan Taylor, and I think it's really a 2-person race right now because unless Drake May unless the Patriots run the table, okay, then you might want to come talk to me. Okay.
Yeah, I'm willing
until
to give,
then.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm willing to give it to Drake. I'm willing to give it to either Drake May or Jonathan Taylor if they get the 1 seed in the AFC. To me, that should be the tiebreaker on who should be the NFL MVP. We got Nate Taylor in studio here. He does fantastic work with ESPN. We'll continue to get you ready for Sunday's matchup against the Colts. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
This is Wyatt Thompson from K-State, and you're listening to The Drive with CDOT right here on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger, Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next-day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. This Black Friday, enjoy exclusive savings on our high-quality rechargeable hearing aids. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and shop Black Friday deals before they're gone at audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Hey, Kansas City, it's Brian Pringle with Victory Ford at the Legends in KCK. Looking for a better car buying experience? At Victory Ford, we do things differently. Friendly, knowledgeable people who actually listen. Clear, upfront pricing with no games or gimmicks, and financing that fits your life. Whether you're hunting a rugged truck, a family SUV, or a fuel-smart commuter, our team walks you through every option so you drive away confident. Got a trade? We pay top dollar. No haggling, just a fair, honest offer so your next ride is within reach. Need financing? Our excellent financing specialists work with multiple lenders to get you competitive terms even if your credit isn't perfect. We're easy to get to from anywhere in the city, conveniently located at the Legends in KCK, just off 435 and Parallel Parkway, down the street from the Kansas Speedway and Nebraska Furniture Mart. Stop by, take a test drive, and feel the difference of a dealership that treats you like a neighbor. Visit us today at the Legends in KCK or victoryfordkc.com. Victory Ford, where our first price is better than their last.
It's a Red Friday on 96.5 The Fan and the other place, especially with these amazing game day specials. 14-inch two-topping pizzas for just $12 and $4 domestic OP cups. The other place with 5 great Kansas City Metro locations.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next-day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs, with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
Who is the area's only dealer for Fronius professional welding equipment? Metal by the Foot, located in KC and Topeka. Online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
Hellsberg gifts checked off the list. Now, time for wrapping. Earrings for mom. A gold bracelet to match the rings Danielle wears every day. And for dad, a new watch, because we all know he needs one. All right, this is gonna be a good one.
Our favorite things for your favorite people. Shop our Black Friday event for up to 65% off in-store or at hellsberg.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This one brought to you by Peter's Clothiers. Several problems on 35 northbound at 75th. There's a crash in the right lane. Shawnee, 35 northbound past Johnson. Left lane blocked. Multi-car crash. 35 northbound just past West Penway. Left lane blocked there. Men, you got to look great for holiday events, so let Peter's Clothiers give you the perfect fit you're looking for, from sportswear to suits and sports coats and sizes to fit every man. PetersClothiers.com or stop in today at 124th and State Line. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Chris Jones from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
You mentioned it earlier. I threw out the question. If you walked around the city and you played Chiefs Family Feud and you asked Chiefs fans, why are the Chiefs going to win on Sunday? I think the most common answers are going to be they always win this game. They don't really have a history and track record of losing this game. We don't believe in Daniel Jones.
Right.
I think would be number 2, and I think number 3 would be Patrick Mahomes.
Sure.
Do you have anything else to add to this list? And where do you think Arrowhead is on this list? Because a lot of the sentiment that I've seen is in the 4 most important games that they have left, all 4 of those games are at Arrowhead, and nobody is coming into Arrowhead and taking this away from the Chiefs. Where do you think Arrowhead ranks in reasons they win on Sunday?
Maybe 5th. You know, I still think 4th is this game should matter more to the Chiefs than the Colts, just flat out. So I agree with 1 through 3. It's not. I mean, to just keep things simple, we haven't seen Patrick Mahomes struggle for 3 straight games since the 2021 season, when he had that like mid-season slump, and it was one of the most shocking things is like, all right, people do have slumps. He's never had one until like his 4th season or whatever as a starter. So I would imagine Mahomes will be better than what we've seen over the last 2 games. He understands the importance, of course. Like I said earlier, Daniel Jones has played really well in controlled climates. Now, I know he used to play in MetLife with the Giants, but I just kind of want to see it, right? I want to see Daniel Jones. I guess one of his best performances, unfortunately in the loss because it wasn't his fault, was when they did go up to L.A. and they went toe-to-toe with the Rams. And partly the reason why they lost that game is that player is no longer on their team, and A.D. Mitchell, who fumbled, before the goal line and then made a mistake. I believe that led to like a game-losing turnover, essentially. So I just want to see like if Daniel Jones can go shot for shot with Mahomes in the 4th quarter in a game that I think will probably have better coaching, right? Right? That might be 6th on the list. I might be more in favor of Arrowhead and the fans than, I mean, you guys are gonna call good play sequences, right? And like good blitzes and, like show me that like you have an advantage from a X's and O's standpoint. Maybe.
There's been a lot of conversation about Kansas City and they can possibly miss the playoffs, and they can. Like, I don't want to make it seem like they're a lock for the postseason. I want to get your thoughts before you get out of here with Buffalo. I don't think Chiefs fans are talking about this yet and worried about it. The worst thing that can happen is Buffalo and Kansas City have the same record.
Correct.
Like, that is not good for Kansas City.
Same with Jacksonville. Yeah.
Just because I don't see a scenario in which the Chiefs end up getting the 5 seed. I just find it hard to believe that they're going to be the best team that doesn't win their division. Like, they got to basically win out the rest of the way.
Yeah, that was going to be my response, is that the only way they can probably do that is if they win out and New England doubles up on Buffalo. Yeah.
So I'm looking at the games that Buffalo has left, and this is noteworthy. On the road against Pittsburgh, Buffalo has struggled in road games.
Correct.
They just lost to Houston. They went on the road and lost to Miami. Like, you got to prove to me you can win these games.
Yep.
On the road against Pittsburgh, on the road against New England. I'm guessing that's a game they're going to be underdogs in. On the road against Pittsburgh, another coin flip kind of game, a game they could very easily lose. I'm not saying they'll lose on the road to Cleveland, but if you lose 30-13 on the road against Miami, you can absolutely lose on the road to Cleveland. Like 100% you can lose on the road to Cleveland if that's the case. And they also got Philadelphia, and Philadelphia might need that game at the end of the season.
Correct. Yep.
Like, they might need that game.
For their own standings, yeah.
I don't think Buffalo going 10-7, 11-6 is outside the realm of possibility. That is not one of the teams, if you're Kansas City, that you want to be an 11-6 team. You want them to just be 13-4. You want them to be out of the way,
right,
so to speak, when it comes to the playoff picture. What do you make of Buffalo and how they've played the last month or so?
Guys, now Josh Allen was incredible at home against the Buccaneers in a game they felt they had to win after their embarrassing loss to the Dolphins. Again, Josh Allen was incredible against the Chiefs in a game they had to win after, stumbling against the Patriots and the Falcons. So if we could just tell Josh Allen that from here on out, must win, dude, got to play well, got to be amazing. He's more than capable of doing it. The problem, Carrington, is who is he throwing to? Oh, it's so bad. Are they really out on Keon Coleman like that?
I think Keon Coleman's going to be playing for the Carolina Panthers next year.
It breaks my heart.
I think he's getting traded for a pick swap in 2027. You can just see the writing on you can 100% see that coming. You can see that coming a mile away that he's about to get traded for a pick swap.
I'm hurt.
I liked Keon Coleman coming out of college.
Coleman when he came into the league. He was supposed to be a star. Of course, he's attached to Xavier Worthy. So you kind of want to see both of these guys like have their career play out. No, but honestly, man, Curtis Samuel has his moments. McCole Hardman, he's already on IR. Joshua Palmer.
That man played for them about 32 minutes. that man, McCole Hardman.
And I love McCole.
McCole Hardman made one play, then he dropped the ball, and then was like, "Hey, I'm hurt."
We're like, "Welcome to the McCole Hardman experience."
Yeah, they got the full range in a very, very short period of time.
Dalton Kincaid, he's probably their best skill position player outside of James Cook. So really, he's gonna have to be Superman, guys. And again, he might as well be throwing to Gabe Davis.
Their defense isn't good enough.
At all.
It's that simple. Their defense isn't good enough.
At all.
Like Buffalo doesn't have enough. They don't have enough weapons on offense. Their defense isn't good enough. You can't watch that Buffalo team and tell me, especially if they don't win the division. They're not going on the road in 3 straight weeks and beating 3 playoff teams. Not with that defense.
Again, unless Josh plays out of his mind and Khalil Shakir, James Cook, they all got to stay healthy. Dalton Kincaid's got to come back and be amazing. And Gabe Davis at least has to be able to stretch the field. One thing that I think will frustrate Chiefs fans about that loss to Buffalo is Buffalo showed a different game plan than the Chiefs anticipated. You know, they had more DBs on the field. They used more 3-down linemen, linebackers, you know, maybe coming on more of a delayed pressure looks, more simulated looks. They played a little bit more man coverage than the Chiefs may have anticipated. Problem is, Buffalo put all that on tape against the Chiefs. And so now teams are like, oh, well, we can adjust to that because you showed that in early November and there's still half the season. So I think that's what's going to frustrate some Chiefs fans is like, well, why didn't our offense play well against Buffalo? That was Buffalo's slider and changeup. And then everybody else now is like, oh, that's right. They can't stop the run. Which also the Chiefs should have kept it simple and tried to run the ball too.
That's not part of their offensive philosophy. It's not at all.
Keep it simple?
Not at all.
Keep it simple.
Not when it comes to running the football. Not when it comes to running the football. That's it. Nate, we got 1 minute left. The Chiefs will win because of what?
The Chiefs will win because they have to focus for 60 minutes, right? The last time they focused for 60 minutes, I felt was against the Detroit Lions. They can do that on Sunday, right? Right? They need this game. They know it's a must-win game.
They need it for sure.
They need it. The Chiefs will win because they'll concentrate and they'll stop doing dumb stuff and they'll stop, having back-breaking penalties that'll stall out drives or they'll actually maybe call better plays in the red zone because that was abysmal last week against the Broncos. We didn't even get to that. So I just think collectively, the coaching staff, the players, the quarterback, they're all going to be better focused. They're all going to concentrate a little bit harder, which means they're going to play better because they have to, considering the circumstances that they have put themselves in. So there's really nowhere to go, which means, hey, let's let the talent actually be on display. But in order to do that, you got to do the small things, you got to do the right things, and you got to stay focused.
That is our guy, Nate Taylor of ESPN, joining us on the show. He'll be back on the show next Friday as we'll have 2 games to recap the next time that you are on the air. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll get you ready for Chiefs and Colts. Keep it right here. It's The Drive on 96.5 The Fan.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, a show that prides itself on getting it right.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5 The Fan. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
We've got a crash, K10 eastbound just past Cedar Creek Parkway. Right lane is blocked. You've got, that says use center lane. So left and right lanes blocked with this crash, 70 westbound past College Parkway, Turner Diagonal. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger, Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. This Black Friday, enjoy exclusive savings on our high-quality rechargeable hearing aids. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and shop Black Friday deals before they're gone at audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
What's up, Missouri? Tony Gonzalez here. I've spent a lot of Sundays right here playing in front of the best fans in football. And now it's almost your turn to get in the game because DraftKings Sportsbook is coming to the Show Me State on December 1st. Soon you'll get fast payouts when you win, a safe and secure app that's easy to use, and promos that keep the action going all season long. It's America's top-rated sportsbook app. New customers can sign up right now and score $300 in bonus bets on launch day, December 1st.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 965. New Missouri customers, sign up today and score $300 in bonus bets once we're live. That's code 965. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Subject to regulatory licensing requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Car wreck? Get the money you deserve. Mike's got this.
Paid for in client portrayal and endorsement. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Give me one good reason why I should call DM Law.
How about 3 great reasons? 1, it's easy. 2, it's fast. 3, the results.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Get ready, Missouri. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is coming soon. Starting on December 1st, new customers in Missouri can get up to $300 in bonus bets when you make your first $5 bet. From touchdowns to three-pointers, with FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. With live betting, you can even get in on the action after the game has already started. All on an app that's safe, secure, and easy to use. Visit FanDuel.com/Missouri to learn more. And you'll be all set to bet when FanDuel goes live in Missouri on December 1st. That's FanDuel.com/Missouri. Play your game of FanDuel, the #1 rated sportsbook app. Must be 21 and present in Missouri. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Offer starts 12/1/25. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG.
Hey, Zach. Are you smiling at my gorgeous canyon view?
No, Donald. I'm smiling because I've got something I want to tell the whole world.
Well, do it. Shout it out.
T-Mobile's got home internet.
Whoa, I love that echo. T-Mobile's got home internet.
How much is it?
Look at that, Zach. We got the neighbors' attention.
Just $35 a month. And you love a great deal, Denise.
Plus, they've got a 5-year price guarantee. That's 5 whole trips around the sun.
I'm switching. Me too.
Yes, T-Mobile home internet for the neighborhood.
Donald, you still haven't returned my weed whacker.
Carl, don't you embarrass me like this, please.
What's everyone yelling about?
T-Mobile's got home internet. And Donald's got my weed whacker.
Yes, T-Mobile's got home internet. Just $35 a month with auto pay and any voice line. And it's guaranteed for 5 years.
Beautiful yodeling, Carl.
Taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com/ISP for details and exclusions.
Hey, Chiefs fans, Crown Royal is the official whiskey of the Kansas City Chiefs. And this season, it's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with the Crown Royal rig at a stadium near you, because we'll be sharing the generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, fueling game day with a generous spirit. Visit www.crownroyal.com/Royal Rig for more on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. Please drink responsibly.
This is Blake Fanning with Shawnee Mission Ford. The year-end sales event starts now. That's 0% on all new 25 Escapes, Explorers, F-150s, Transits, and Super Duties, regular and super cabs. But it doesn't stop there. You also get 90 days till first payment and 90 days of Blue Cruise. Shawnee Mission Ford still gives you the large discounts and top trade allowances. You'll save thousands. Take advantage of 0% for 60 months, 90 days till first payment, and 90 days of Blue Cruise. Shawnee Mission Ford, on a mission to do more.
Chiefs coverage sponsored by Renner Garage Door, RENNER, forward and back.
Hey, it's almost Andy Reid. Who knew a Halloween costume would change my life and lead me to Renner Garage Door? Renner's KC's go-to team for service, repair, and replacement.
RENNER, RENNER.
What's up, KC? It's Drew Tranquil. Tune in on game days to hear the play-by-play with Mitch, Danon, and Kling on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Congratulations on getting through your 9 to 5. Thank you so much for listening. It is The Drive. You are listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. Coming up in about 30 minutes, we'll play the best of James Palmer of Bleacher Report. We'll get you his thoughts on the game. But right now, we got a little bit of time. We'll read your text, 913-586-7965, as we get you ready for the Colts and the Chiefs. So this is where I would like to begin the 5 o'clock hour. I think that both of these teams have a lot to prove in this individual game. Let's start with Kansas City. In my opinion, the Chiefs need to show everybody why they are still the Chiefs. We've talked about it this week. The expectation, the belief, I think nationally and also locally, is that, man, they'll figure it out. You are running out of time to potentially figure it out if you are Kansas City. To me, you have a fresh slate. I don't care what the Chiefs' record is. Obviously, it matters, and we have time to talk about the tiebreakers. But if the Chiefs quite simply take care of their own business, they're in. You got to look at it like this. The Chiefs are a 2-loss college football team, and they got a chance to make the college football playoff. If you win out, then it doesn't matter what anybody else does, because you are going to the college football playoff and you got a chance to compete for a national championship. That's kind of where the Chiefs are now. So the Chiefs heading into this game, and I would say heading into this week, whether it's the game against the Colts and also the game against the Cowboys, they have an opportunity to show everybody that they are still the Chiefs. They have the number one crew on Sunday with Nance and Romo, even though it's a 12 o'clock noon game. A lot of people are going to be watching Kansas City. The Thanksgiving game against the Cowboys is going to be the most watched regular season game possibly in the history of the National Football League. So a lot of people are going to watch Kansas City in these next couple of days. The Chiefs have an opportunity on Sunday to show everybody that they are still the Chiefs. Regardless of how you feel about the Indianapolis Colts, they have proven so far through the first 11 weeks of the season that they are one of the 5 best teams in the National Football League. Their quarterback has played well for the most part. They have the best running back in the league. They have a top 5 tight end based on how he's played so far this season. They have 2 great corners. Their defense has been good. They got a good defense, good weapons on the outside. They've been very, very consistent. They have 1 loss on the road and 1 loss. They have played very, very well so far this season. So if you're Kansas City and your back is up against the wall and you have 1 good win so far this season, we don't have to debate on how great of a win it was against the Lions. That's a really good home win. If you can win this game against the Indianapolis Colts, when we get to Monday and First Take and all of these debate shows, the talking point is going to be, are the Chiefs back and are the Chiefs still the Chiefs? That's the conversation that you want to have happen. On the flip side, if you are the Indianapolis Colts, to me, you are looking for a sense of validation in your season. The Colts are going to rack up a lot of nice wins over the course of the year. They're going to rack up a lot of wins. I think the Colts have a chance to be the 1 seed in the AFC. But what does all of that mean if no one believes in you? And I don't think the public really believes in Indianapolis. I think they had a chance a couple of weeks ago against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I think they fumbled it, figuratively and literally. They fumbled it against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I think the public is kind of waiting to doubt Indianapolis. We almost have the exact same scenario as last season. Last season, the Minnesota Vikings, they were the NFC version of the Indianapolis Colts. They had a quarterback who was a top 10 pick, who played in New York and got a second chance, and they put up a lot of good regular season wins. But when the rubber met the road at the end of the season and they had to win one game to be the 1 seed, Sam Darnold played terrible in that game. The Vikings then went on the road against the Los Angeles Rams. They then lost that game, and he ended up finding a new address. That's kind of where the Colts are right now. To me, the Colts are looking for that win that they can turn around and show the rest of the NFL, see, I told you, we are legitimate Super Bowl contenders. And right now, I know what their record is, but I don't know if there's a bigger head that you can return back to the village to show everybody that you slayed the giant than if you ended Kansas City's season. And I think on the flip side of everybody will have the stance that Kansas City is back if they win this game, a lot of people are going to feel like Kansas City's season is over. And honestly, I'm going to be one of those people. At that point, I don't know if the math is on your side anymore. And I'm not really sure if you can be a 5-6 football team like the Chiefs would be after a loss, and then you can sell me that now you're going to win 6 games in a row. You've had plenty of opportunities to show us that you are that kind of team. You didn't show us against Philadelphia. You didn't show us in Buffalo. You didn't show us against the Broncos. You got another opportunity against a top 5 team in the National Football League. So I think both of these teams are in a position that you have an opportunity to show the NFL. Either you're the Colts and you deserve to be talked about like you're one of the top 5 teams and you are a true Super Bowl contending team, or if you're Kansas City, we know that we have stumbled, but we got this big win, and now heading into Thanksgiving, if we can get one more of these wins, we can now take a little bit of a breath. And if the Chiefs are 7-5 heading into their final 5 games of the season, they are overwhelming favorites to make the postseason, and they will then be the team that nobody wants to play. Let's talk about the postseason. And Rob, in the hits, I want to talk about Buffalo for just a little bit. I think that the season is broken up into 3 categories. Category 1, home games. Indianapolis, Houston, Denver, Los Angeles. Now, maybe you guys will call me negative or a pessimist. I don't think you can count on the Chiefs to win all 4 of those games. Now, could they? Sure, absolutely. But based on how this season has gone, I don't know if I can trust the Chiefs yet to go 4-0 in all 4 of those games. You got Indianapolis, as we've been talking about, has been a top 5 team. You got Houston that might have the best defense in the National Football League, and they might have the best pass rusher right now in the National Football League this side of Myles Garrett. And if he lines up on that right side with Jawan Taylor, it will be a long evening in Kansas City. Denver and Los Angeles, 2 teams that have already beaten you so far this season, albeit on the road. I don't think the Chiefs are going 4-0 in those games, but if the Chiefs can go 3-1 in those games, great. That is exactly what you need. I would say they then have a weird game. Thursday against the Cowboys is a weird game. Now, I know it's Thanksgiving, but it has all of the making of a Thursday night football game. Short week, on the road. Cowboys can score a lot of points, but they also give up a lot of points. We all know that weird things just happen on Thursday. And then you wrap in the pageantry of Thanksgiving. I think the Chiefs are going to win that game. But we all can acknowledge how weird Thanksgiving is, how weird the Cowboys are, and how weird those Thursday quick turnaround games are. So I would put that Cowboys game in its own box. It's a road game against a team that you know can score, against a team that has shown you that they can be pretty competitive. They can compete with just about anybody, but they also could give up 50 points to Kansas City on Thursday. All bets are off. And then you got another category of, on the road against Tennessee, on the road against Las Vegas. Those are gimmies. If the Chiefs lose those games, they don't deserve to make the playoffs. I don't care how many games they have. If you lose to Tennessee in late December, you should be automatically barred from making the postseason. I don't care who you are. You cannot lose to that team. That is a gimme. That is a team that is already getting ready for the draft and is trying to decide who their next coach is going to be with a number 1 overall pick who has struggled this year. There's no reason to lose in December to the Tennessee Titans. And Vegas, they're bad. I just don't know what to tell you. They're bad. They're really, really bad. So that's how I have the Chiefs season broken down now. They have 7 games remaining. They have the 4 home games. Indy, Houston, Denver, and Los Angeles. Just go 4-1 or 3-1 in that stretch. That's all you got to do. You don't have to be perfect in that stretch. Go 3-1 in that stretch, and I would say start things off well with the home win against Indianapolis. And if you lose to Denver again, I guess you're not going to win the division anyway, in my opinion. So go 3-1 in those games. You're going to have to figure out a way to win a weird Thursday night football game against the Cowboys next Thursday. And then you got 2 absolutely gimmies when it comes to the Tennessee Titans and the Las Vegas Raiders. So their schedule, in my opinion, is very, very manageable. When their most important games are at home and they have 2 road games against 2 of the 6 worst teams in the National Football League, this is all manageable, in my opinion. But it has to start with a win. And the Chiefs have already dug themselves in enough of a hole. The final hole that they have to dig themselves out of cannot be, we got to go 6-0 in the final 6 games of the season. They haven't shown us that they can do that. But if you can win this game, you win the game against the Cowboys, it changes the math, it changes the calculus. You then get an 11-day rest before you play the home game against the Houston Texans. Everyone will feel very different about Kansas City if that's how things play themselves out. Rob, let's actually talk about Buffalo and Houston. Let's make them hit number 1.
Your workday is over.
Oh, yeah.
You're headed home, and now you're stuck in traffic. Time to get caught up on the biggest stories in Kansas City and around the country with CDOT and Rob. It's time for the hits. Number 1.
As always, King, the hits are brought to you by Baker University. Make your next era orange at Baker University, the first university in Kansas, and ranked number 1 in return on investment among private universities in Kansas. Baker University, forever in our orange era.
Rob, do you remember that Gatorade commercial with Dwayne Wade, where Dwayne Wade was like playing a game in his mind, and then he just woke up startled out of nowhere? Do you remember that commercial?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Do you think Jawan Taylor woke up like that after watching Thursday Night Football? Because you're going to have to guard Will Anderson. And Will Anderson yesterday, he was incredible yesterday. He was amazing yesterday. I guess I have 2 thoughts here. And I know we got to get back to the Chiefs, and I promise you we'll get back to the Chiefs soon enough. Houston is going to spoil somebody's party. I don't think that Houston is good enough to make the postseason, but I think that Houston is good enough to cause a problem for somebody in the AFC. So if you look at their remaining schedule, Houston right now is 6-5. That's a decent football team. That's a team that has won 4 of its last 5 games. They beat San Francisco. They beat Jacksonville. They beat Buffalo. They've shown you that they can beat some good football teams. Their remaining schedule now with the extended rest period, they go on the road to play Indianapolis and on the road to play Kansas City in back-to-back weeks. They also go on the road and they play Los Angeles. So I'm talking about 3 of the hardest road games that I think you can have in the National Football League. At Arrowhead in a needed game for Kansas City, on the road against Indianapolis, who has been one of the 5 best teams in the league, and on the road against the Chargers, who so far have played like a playoff team. They also have their other game against Indianapolis, the final game of the season. They are not going 0-4 in that stretch. So Houston, who I don't think is going to make the postseason, I think they just fall just a game, maybe 2 games out. Their defense, and they are scrappy enough, they are either going to, in the season for the Kansas City Chiefs, in the season for the Los Angeles Chargers, or be the reason why the Colts don't end up being the 1 seed. They're just dangerous enough to be able to do it. With that defense and getting C.J. Stroud back, Houston, to me, is a problem, and one that I think people should be paying attention to and keeping an eye on. When it comes to Buffalo, now I don't want anybody to think that I think that Buffalo is outright missing the postseason, because I don't. But I think that Buffalo is going to end up being a problem and not a good way for Kansas City. They are 7-4 right now. They have shown really no ability to win road games. Their road wins are against the Jets and the Panthers. They lost to Atlanta. They lost to Miami. They lost to Houston on the road. They still have 3 road games left, on the road against Pittsburgh, on the road against New England. They got another loss coming in one of those, if not both of those games. They play Cincinnati, who now has Joe Burrow back. So who knows what kind of game that could potentially be, especially for a team that can't defend anybody. They play Philadelphia. Philadelphia might need that to end up being the 1 seed. One of the negatives from yesterday in Buffalo losing is they are now, to me, in the mix for that 6 or 7 seed, and I don't think that's good for Kansas City. I think the best thing for the Chiefs is just for Buffalo to get out of the way, and for Buffalo either to just lose out and just miss the playoffs altogether, or for Buffalo to just be the 5 seed. I don't think the Chiefs are going to be the 5 seed. I think it's really hard for them to be that given the lack of tiebreakers that they have. So they're probably going to end up being the 6 seed or the 7 seed. Well, you don't want to be in a situation where Kansas City has 11 wins and Buffalo has 11 wins because Buffalo wins the head-to-head tiebreaker against Kansas City. So just something to keep an eye on with Buffalo down the stretch and seeing how they play things out. I will say this about Buffalo. I am out on them being a Super Bowl contending team. I'm out. I don't think they have enough on offense. They don't have nearly enough weapons. And that defense is not going on the road and beating 3 playoff teams in 3 straight weeks. No chance of it, in my opinion, from watching this team. I just don't think Buffalo is that team. I think they're a good team. They'll win double-digit games this year. They'll be dangerous. Nobody will want to play them in the first round. But, man, we've seen that defense enough this year that I just don't have much confidence. I don't have much faith in their ability to potentially go on the road to possibly Pittsburgh or Baltimore in round 1, go on the road to Denver, and then go on the road to New England in 3 straight weeks and think they're going to the Super Bowl. No, I think that ship has sailed. I think that Buffalo, they are speeding towards some wholesale changes that could be coming to their organization. All right, Rob, let's hit number 2.
Number 2.
Speaking of the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs, this will seamlessly tie in because 2 weeks ago, I guess 3 weeks of real time, 2 weeks of football time, the Kansas City Chiefs were gearing up to play those Buffalo Bills, and the conversation was, can they stop James Cook? Can they stop James Cook? Can they stop James Cook? Well, they didn't stop James Cook. So, Carrington, if the Chiefs struggle with James Cook, Bills running back, what should give Chiefs fans hope as they take on a better running back in Jonathan Taylor Sunday at Arrowhead?
All right, let's talk about this. And, Rob, I want to get your official on-the-board prediction, and we'll do that here coming up in just a bit. A lot of Chiefs fans have made the point, and I think it's a very, very fair point. This has never been an issue with Kansas City. It was an issue one time against James Cook. The Chiefs did a good job against Saquon Barkley. They've done a good job historically against these running backs. Why is now the expectation that you're going to give up a whole lot of yards? It's a fair question. I would say, and they've gone up against some really good ones before. I mean, this is probably one of the 5 best running backs that they have gone up against. Like if we were talking about like when they went up against them, I would say probably Christian McCaffrey in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, probably Saquon Barkley last year, and I think Taylor might end up having a better season than him. Like we're talking about one of the 3 best running backs that they have gone up against. Where I'm a little bit worried is when it comes to their defensive line. This is a game where you have to get pressure up front and you have to trust those guys to do their job. And I look at the Colts and I look at some of the things that they can do on offense, and some of the things that they do well, I think directly give the Chiefs problems. The Chiefs struggle with tight ends. They have one of the 5 best tight ends in the National Football League. This is a team in Indianapolis that I don't think is going to go away from the run. Running the ball is at the core of who they are as a team and is at the core of who they are as an organization. So I think that Jonathan Taylor is getting somewhere between 15 and 25 opportunities in this game. Are the Chiefs going to stay home? Are the Chiefs going to stay disciplined? Are the Chiefs going to figure out a way to slow down Jonathan Taylor? I don't think you got to hold him to 37 yards rushing. But can he have 16 carries for 81 yards and a touchdown? If that's the case, that is a game that I feel the Kansas City Chiefs win. And the biggest reason on why I think Kansas City is going to win this game, twofold. And I understand that some of you don't feel this way. And I'm going to ask Rob because it doesn't sound to me like Rob feels this way about Kansas City. I'm just not ready to give up on them yet. And in my opinion, if you were picking the Colts this week, and it's understandable if you were picking the Colts this week, if you were picking the Colts this week, you are prepared to give up on the Kansas City Chiefs. You don't think they're a playoff team. You think that they are missing the playoffs. And I just don't think that yet with this team. Now, I can get there if they lose this game, but I am not there right now. I still think that this is one of the 7 best teams in the AFC. I think they are going to showcase that on Sunday against the Colts. So to me, you have to pick them this week if that's the way you feel about them. The other reason why I feel this way is because of the quarterback of the Colts. I believe that he is a turnover machine. I think the numbers bear out that he is a turnover machine. We're talking about a guy who over the last couple of weeks has really, really started to regress when it comes to ball security. In the first 8 weeks of the season, Daniel Jones had 3 interceptions and 9 sacks and 2 fumbles. So they did a great job protecting him. He was holding on to the football. He wasn't making mistakes. The last 2 games for the Colts, Daniel Jones has 4 interceptions. So he has more interceptions in the last 2 weeks than he had in the first 8 weeks of the season. He has 12 sacks in those 2 games. So he is getting a lot of pressure. He's taking a lot of sacks. Daniel Jones has fumbled the ball 8 times so far in their 10 games. So we all know this. Daniel Jones is going to give the Chiefs at least 2 opportunities to make a play. Whether it is a tip ball, whether it is an errant throw, whether it is he holds on to the ball too long and you got a chance to hit him and knock the ball loose. Daniel Jones in his career, he is going to give you 2 opportunities to go out there and make a play. The question is, can the Chiefs defense take advantage of it? They couldn't take advantage of it with Daniel Jones. They couldn't take advantage of it with Bo Nix. They have another chance in a playoff game, and I use playoff game in quotes. They have another game against a playoff-type quarterback that this defensive line has to prove that, A, they can stop the run, and they got to prove that they can get to the other team's quarterback.
So here's where me and you disagree. And it's fine. We can see things differently. I don't know that losing the Colts automatically means you can't believe the Chiefs are a playoff team. I don't know that losing on Sunday means I'm, hammering the final nail into the Chiefs' coffin. I don't believe that. I think it is a very difficult uphill battle, and I think it is going to be tough sledding, but I don't think it's, playoff dreams are dead and gone. Me and you just disagree there. Now, to answer your first question about who am I picking, I'm going to pick the Colts. And it's this simple to me. Outside of one game, 4 of the 5 Chiefs wins are against teams that they're just better than. They have not beaten a team in 2025 that is a weight class above them. Think about their wins. They beat the Giants. The Giants are lousy. And by the way, that was the Russell Wilson Giants. They're super lousy with Russell Wilson. Like, extremely lousy. You beat the Commanders. The Commanders are, 3-8 right now? They're lousy. You beat the Raiders. The Raiders are the dregs of the league. Like, literally some of the worst teams in the league. They did beat the Lions. So, hey, kudos there. You took care of business. You beat the Lions. You earned that victory. Like, that's just not and the Ravens, who are looking better of late. But let's be honest, when you played the Ravens, me and you could score 30 against that defense. So I haven't seen the Chiefs with a different weight class of competition based on 2025 win that game. I saw them lost the Eagles. Eagles are the Super Bowl team. I saw them lost the Bills. The Bills are probably in the same category as the Chiefs. It just, okay, that's their Super Bowl. They lost the Jags. The Jags right now are better than the Chiefs because of that game. They've lost these games consistently. So I don't believe Sunday loss to the Colts a death sentence, but I don't know the Chiefs, the 2025 Chiefs that are 5-5, are going to rise up and look like the 2024 Chiefs and take care of business against an 8-2 Colts team. This just feels like if the roles were reversed and we said, man, the 8-2 Chiefs are heading on the road to take on the 5-5, this team is salty, you would tell me this team's not in the Chiefs weight class and they'll win. That's how it feels this week. It's just the roles have reversed.
All right, so let's do this. I know we got a break because you and I are on different sides, and that's perfectly fine. I think what I struggle with is it is hard to me to know the importance of this game for Kansas City, pick the Indianapolis Colts, know that the Chiefs' record is 5-6 heading into Thanksgiving. And if you still have them making the postseason, then think a team that is 5-6 heading into Thanksgiving now has the ability to win 6 straight games and go to the playoffs. I just find that hard to believe. And if you were saying, hey, they can't beat these kind of teams, man, they ain't done playing these kind of teams. They play Denver, who is in a weight class above them. And if they have fallen for every single mine over the course of the NFL regular season, because that's what this would have been. They played 3 playoff teams in a row. They played Buffalo. They lost. They played Denver. They lost. In your scenario, they played Indianapolis and lost. I just don't know how you can pick them then to go on the road and beat the Cowboys or beat Houston or beat Denver or beat Los Angeles. To me, this is a statement game for the Chiefs. Hey, we are not dead yet. We are still one of the best teams in the National Football League, and we are about to show you over the next couple of weeks or so. So we can take phone calls on this, 913-586-7965. Rob is picking the Indianapolis Colts to win. I am on the other side. Keep it right here, so drive.
The Drive with CDOT. Tune in as Nate Taylor of ESPN joins the show in studio every Friday at 4 on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
It's the fourth quarter, and 96.5 The Fan, along with the Kansas Lottery, want to send your tailgate into overtime. Register now at 965thefan.com for your chance to score a tailgate prize bundle. Perfect for your next big game day, plus a $100 holiday instant ticket. All entries qualify for the grand prize drawing, so don't miss your shot. Enter today at 965thefan.com. That's 965thefan.com.
You must be 18 or older to enter.
This season, the perfect gift is back, the McRib. Now at McDonald's, you can buy a McRib extra value meal with medium fries and a medium soft drink, like a Dr. Pepper, and add another McRib sandwich for just $1 to give to someone special. Someone special. That could be anyone, right? Like I'm special. Listen to how well I do the jingle. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Valid for item of equal or lesser value. Dr. Pepper is a registered trademark of Dr. Pepper 7UP, Inc.
FanDuel Friday is turning it up with an NBA happy hour every Friday from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. FanDuel is dropping limited time specials to get you in the zone. Boost, bonus, surprises, all designed to give you that Friday energy. This isn't just another promo. It's your weekly pregame NBA happy hour every Friday, 6 to 7:30 Eastern, only on FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NBA. So visit FanDuel.com/KFNZ. Use my promo code to grab your reward before the clock expires. Celebrate the beginning of the NBA season in style. FanDuel is the official sportsbook of the NBA and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expirations, league requirements, and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement. Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem. Get out with your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit kansasgamblinghelp.com.
Hello, Crushers. It's your host, DJ Divine, telling you that Candy Crush music season is here. Tasty. Conquer levels to mix your own track and win sweet rewards. Divine. Now let's swipe to the next track. Take it away, Thundercat. Candy Crush music season. Play now. From November 3rd to December 7th, selected players level 36+. Terms apply. See in-game. Optional in-game purchases.
It's a Red Friday on 96.5 The Fan, and the other place is your sports watching headquarters this fall. Now with 5 great area locations: Shawnee, Olathe, downtown Overland Park, Mission, and Belton. Enjoy Red Friday specials all day.
You think you understand how this business works, but you don't.
Landman, TV's biggest phenomenon, returns to Paramount Plus. From Taylor Sheridan, co-creator of Yellowstone, starring Billy Bob Thornton.
You have to know the rules of the game and bend them, and you really have to know them to break them.
Demi Moore.
I want success. Get it for me.
Andy Garcia, Ali Larder, and Sam Elliott.
You don't even know the game you're playing, do you?
Landman, new season, now streaming, only on Paramount Plus.
eBay has reinvented vehicle buying. From click to curb, everything's covered. Ever try to buy a car online and end up in a parking lot with a stranger and some blind trust? That era is over. Now with Secure Purchase, eBay isn't just where you find your car. It's where you buy it, start to finish. Title, financing, registration, delivery, it's all built in. This is the modern way to buy your next ride on eBay. eBay. Things people love. Secure Purchase is powered by Caramel Dealer Services, LLC, an eBay subsidiary.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet Find your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
Whether you're a DIY enthusiast, a contractor, or business owner, Metal by the Foot has the perfect solution for you. Located in KC and Topeka, online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
North KC still working the crash. 35 southbound at Armour 210 Highway. Move to the left. Right lane is blocked there. And the crash 70 westbound at College Parkway. Turner diagonal still there, blocking the left lane. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, so Rob is taking the stance that the Colts are going to win this game. Now, there has been, I would say, varying opinions on if this is a must-win game or not. I think this is a must-win game. This is why. This text right here, CDOT 6-1 will get them in the postseason. So even if they drop this game, they still have a good chance at making it with the 6-1 record. Man, I'm sorry. The Chiefs can't keep losing these important games, and the sentiment's going to be, well, now all they got to do is win their next 5 games. What? They keep losing. They haven't given us a reason to think that they can get super hot and win 6 in a row. So I am at least at my end when it comes to that. Like, if you're on the other side, it's perfectly fine. And you're technically right. Hey, if they go 6-1 during the stretch, that's fine. But they can't have their first 3-game losing streak in the Patrick Mahomes era, lose the 3 straight postseason games, and then you're telling me between another game against Denver, another game against the Chargers, Houston, on the road against Dallas, you think the Chiefs are going undefeated in those games. They've given you no reason to think they're winning all of those games if they lose this one. So to me, this is the prove it, show me kind of game. If the Chiefs are the old Chiefs and they're still a championship team that can get hot and they're a team that nobody wants to face, you got to show me that against Daniel Jones and the Indianapolis Colts. And maybe that is an unrealistic expectation, but that is the expectation you have created for yourself by being 500. I hate that the Colts game is a must-win kind of game. That's not a good place to be in. But when you've lost as many games as they have, at some point you got to start putting wins together. And I made the analogy earlier. It's like the Electoral College. Man, at some point you just got to recognize you're not going to be the president when the votes keep coming in. Well, we lost that state. Well, you know what? Hey, man, we really got to win Ohio, but you've lost every state around it. You're not winning that state. What are you doing here? You're not going to be the president. You got to find something else to do. That's kind of where I am. They need this one. This is Pennsylvania to me. This is Ohio to me in trying to figure out the math of how they're going to make the playoffs. They have to win this game, in my opinion, against the Indianapolis Colts. So we were going to end up doing this. We were going to end up doing a Spec Says. I guess we can just do it now because Spec is on the opposite end of this. Spec does not think that the season is over with the loss to the Colts.
All right, I don't think the Chiefs' playoff hopes are dead with a loss to the Colts, but I do want to point out the difference in the mentality of the fan base thinking the season is over versus the team having 6 games in front of them left and in some ways still controlling their own destiny. So no, I don't think a season is over with a loss to the Colts. And I understand, and it's a completely valid argument that if the Chiefs are capable of losing 3 games in a row, what makes you think that they're going to win 6 in a row? And I would just say the NFL is a weird sport, and unlike a lot of other sports, one injury can dramatically affect another team's season. Jaguars still have some tough games on the schedule, although they get the Titans twice. The Chargers have a very difficult schedule down the stretch. And if you look at the Chiefs, you've got pretty much 2 games in hand with Tennessee and Las Vegas. You've got home games in the division against the Broncos and Chargers. I don't believe in the Houston Texans. Dallas is a whole separate issue. We'll see a short week on the road on Thanksgiving. And more than anything, I trust the Chiefs' infrastructure way more than I trust the Jaguars' infrastructure, coach, quarterback, organization. And the Chiefs are just healthier than the Chargers, and they get the Chargers at home. So I think those are the two teams that you're looking at competing with for the 6 and 7 seed in the AFC playoffs. And I think for those reasons, you just can't say the season is over at 5 and 6 before you've even played a game in December.
Text line 913-586-7965. And I promise you, I'm not trying to be Buzz Killington on this topic. I'm really not. This is the last analogy I'll make. You can't, in my opinion, keep failing every single test and then tell me that you're going to ace the final. Because if you understood the material that well, why were you failing the test? Why didn't you get good grades on the test? This is, in my opinion, the biggest test for the Kansas City Chiefs this year. It is the biggest test. The Chiefs are a largely healthy team, and I know it. They don't have Isaiah Pacheco, and I'm sorry. That is unfortunate. But if you look around the National Football League, nobody has all of their starters at this point in the season. Everybody is dealing with some kind of injury. The Chiefs are a mostly healthy team at home and a gotta-have-it situation. So, in my opinion, you just can't lose this game, be 5 and 6, and then tell me this dream that now they're going to win 6 in a row when, no, I just won't believe it. So that's why I am. I'm picking them, though. I think they're going to figure out a way to win this. I don't necessarily know how they're going to figure out a way to win this game, but this is what my hope is. My hope is that the bad luck stretch that they have had in these one-score games, my hope is that they can turn it around a little bit. This game's going to be close in the final 5 minutes of it. Like, for all the talk about they can do this or the Colts can do this, none of that will matter in the final 6 minutes of the game. This game will be a one-score game for either side. The Colts will be up. The Chiefs will be up. This game it will be close. I just think at some point the Chiefs make one play, and I think that play probably comes from number 15. It's been a while since Mahomes has made a play that makes you just go, I mean, that's the best quarterback in the National Football League. Like, if I ask you right now to think of a play where Pat showed you he's the best quarterback in the league, we would get 100 different answers right now on the text line. When's the last time the Chiefs had that kind of play? And I'm thinking against this team with their back up against the wall, they just need one of those. They need a 3rd and 9 throw where Mahomes just, I'm the best quarterback in the National Football League. I still think that team is in there. I still believe in that team. So I am holding on to that they are going to beat the Indianapolis Colts on Sunday at Arrowhead.
Let me ask you a question. Because your test analogy I thought was good, but I have a question for you. You said you can't keep failing this test, and then you fail it again on Sunday if they lose, and then I think you're going to turn around and get hot. If they have failed this test every game this season, for your analogy, every time they've been tested with a team that's similar to them or better, they have failed that test all but once. They beat the Lions, and I'm not trying to diminish that win. They did. It was a little bit of a depleted Lions team, but they beat the Lions. Outside of that, every time in 2025 that they have been up against a test, they have failed. Why do you think they're just going to start acing the test against the Colts? Because for your analogy, you don't think they're going to lose this one. If they do lose, turn around and get hot. Why is this game so different? The Colts are the same test of everyone else slated in the schedule, and record-wise, they're better.
No,
how are they passing this one but failing
you're right.
the rest?
You're 100% right. And I think my answer would be, and I think you have found the hypocrisy, and I can acknowledge that. I'm guessing, and I'm putting it back on you now. I'm putting the pressure on you. There have been some times where KU has been at home and they're playing a team that's better than them, and your answer is they're at Allen. Well, that's my answer then. They're at home. They're at Arrowhead. They're Kansas basketball. They figure it out. That's my answer. They figure it out. So the same way that I'm sure you've picked KU when Texas Tech was coming into town or Houston was coming into town or whomever, that they were the better team on paper, but you're at home, you got Bill Self, you got the students ripping up newspaper and throwing it in the air. You think KU will figure it out. That's how I feel about the Chiefs.
Well, let me ask you this then. I love a KU basketball analogy.
That's all I got right now.
Wouldn't you say that a KU team that was down and started losing those games last year, people like me still kept picking them? Like, hey, it's Allen, it's Bill Self, it's Kansas. Texas Tech came in.
I can be wrong. You can be wrong.
Let's say, is it possible the Colts are Texas Tech?
100%.
Is it possible they're Houston? I mean, they lost other home games. I'm forgetting them off the top of my head. Is it possible that's
You're
this
right.
game?
And I guess to keep this is there came a point with you where eventually you just said, KU ain't turning it around this year. And KU didn't turn it around. KU lost in the first round of the NCAA tournament. They lost. So, yeah, no, you're right. You can go into it thinking, oh, man, we're at home. It's Allen, of course. And they lost. I was at that Texas Tech game. I saw it in person. They lost. And then there came to the point where you're like, no, they're not turning it around. They then lost quickly in the Big 12 tournament. They lost quickly in the NCAA tournament. There became a point where even KU fans realized this Hunter Dickinson, DeJuan Harris, KJ Adams thing, it ain't working. This team's not good enough. I'm telling you that this is that point for me with Kansas City. That's where I am right now. If they lose this game, the take that I will have on Monday was they are not good enough. They're not making the playoffs. We should start getting ready for the NFL draft. That will be my take. They need to get ready for the 17th overall pick. And people will be mad and upset, but that is how I will feel on Monday if the Chiefs. I don't care how they win this game. I don't care if they win 3-2. I don't care if they win 2-0 on a safety and the offense is the worst we've ever seen. I don't care about any of that. They need to figure out a way to have more points at the end of the game. They need to figure out a way to have more points at 3:15 Central than the Indianapolis Colts. And if they do that, their season can advance. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Holiday season is right around the corner, so that means you're going to be cooking some really important meals for the family. And if you're going to do that, then it has to include Gates Classic Seasoning. It's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here telling you about our friends over at Gates Barbecue. With 5 area locations, you are never too far away from that classic Kansas City barbecue taste. And as we get closer to the holiday season and you're prepping your meals, I want you to think about that Gates seasoning. You can get it in a couple of different flavors: extra hot, original, sweet, and mild. You can also get the salad season, and their seasoning goes great with a whole lot of foods. Put it on your green beans, put it on your spinach, put it on your eggs. You can use your Gates seasoning as marinade for your meats as you're cooking that bird for your Thanksgiving feast. And if you're looking for a quick side dish, then you know they got it over at Gates Barbecue. Go pick you up some beans. Go pick you up some of those fries, a little bit of sweet potato pie, maybe some potato salad. Go to Gates to get your sides here. And if you're looking to tailgate for the game on Sunday, stop by. There's a Gates barbecue right around the corner from the stadium. Stop by the one over there on 40 Highway, pick yourself up a tray, and then ride into the stadium and have your little picnic before you go to the game. You can also stop by the one over on Main Street and get yourself the Gates Chicken Wing Tray. This is Carrington again, reminding you guys that whatever your holiday food plans are, they have to include Gates Barbecue.
Hi, I'm Lexi, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. If you're planning to propose this holiday, we're ready to make creating your engagement ring a warm, welcoming experience. At Shane Company, we're all about your style, your budget, your dream engagement ring. Explore the widest selection of diamonds and ring settings ready for you to see in person, or visit us at shaneco.com. You'll have your ring in days, not weeks. Our friendly jewelry consultants don't work on commission. There's never any pressure, just perfect proposals. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Paid for client portrayal and endorsement. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Give me one good reason why I should call DM Law.
How about 3 great reasons? 1, it's easy. 2, it's fast. 3, the results.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Listen to the Chiefs versus the Colts this Sunday on 96.5 The Fan. Sponsored by Kansas Lottery. Download the Kansas Lottery Play-On app to play anytime, anywhere in Kansas.
I want to tell you guys about our friends over at The Other Place with 5 area locations. You are never too far away from that place to sit down and watch the game. Maybe you're not going to the game this week. Maybe it's cold outside. Maybe you don't got tickets. You don't want to deal with the travel, the traffic, whatever it could possibly be. Well, you know what? Then go stop by and see our friends over at The Other Place. They got great game day specials. They got 14-inch 2-topping pizzas for $12. They got 8 wings in a basket of tots for $12. They also got a $4 domestic OP cup. Grab yourself something to drink. Maybe after work you're looking for something to do. They got Red Friday specials. You can get select appetizers for $6, and you can also get a Busch Light Tall Boy. You know Rob loves a Busch Light Tall Boy. So if you're looking for a one-of-a-kind game day experience, if you're looking for the next best thing to being at the stadium, and you want that game day atmosphere without actually going out to the game, well, then go stop by and see our friends over at The Other Place.
Spreadsheets, clunky software, 100 different logins just to run your business? Ah.
There's a better way. Odoo.
One simple, connected platform that handles sales, inventory, accounting, and more. So you can focus on growing, not juggling. Make the switch today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
You've got a big day, so you use Unstoppable scent boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
boss, 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 bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppables beads to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness so you can smell unstoppable.
Chiefs coverage sponsored by Park & Go, your holiday travel made easy with all covered airport parking.
Heading out of town for the holidays? Make travel easy with Park & Go. Enjoy all covered parking, free shuttles, and luggage help that'll have you feeling merry and bright. Reserve your spot now at bookparkandgo.com. Happy holidays from Park & Go.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free, and you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
The technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
Stay comfortable year-round with fast, reliable service 24/7, even weekends and holidays. Already invested in repairs? Save up to $4,500 on a new HVAC system. Schedule today at AnthonyPHCE.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
So working the crash, North KC 35 southbound as you approach Armour, 210 Highway, move to the left, it's the right lane blocked. Then you've got Olathe, very slow, 35 northbound past Santa Fe. There's a stall in the right lane and a lot of onlooker delay on the southbound side. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
It's time for game predictions, brought to you by Bet365. The gateway to big wins is coming soon to Missouri with Bet365.
All right, before we get out of here, I want to give you guys a quick Darren Peterson thought, because we didn't get a chance to do that during the hits. So Darren Peterson is not playing in Vegas. Is he going to take the trip to Vegas, or is he just, what's the plan there? Do you know, Rob?
I have not seen the plan there. I mean, if he went to MSG, I presume he's going to Vegas, right?
That's not the one trip I'm missing. If I'm him, I mean, everybody else in Vegas. I also want to be in Vegas. Why am I not there with my teammates? This is the thing. And I know that you guys, you know, I do troll KU fans. I don't want to make it seem like I don't want to make it seem like I always come in peace with KU fans, but I promise you right now I come in peace. I think you guys are overreacting a little bit to Darren Peterson. I think you're overreacting a little bit. If Darren Peterson is playing in the game against UConn, I would say all of this was for nothing. I mean, for like the fan reaction. That's all that really matters. I know that you want to see him. I get it. I understand. It's November college basketball. It's okay. I promise you that these losses, if they pick them up, and this KU team will lose again. Like, somebody is beating them in Vegas. Like, somebody is going to beat them. They are not good enough to beat 3 Power 4 teams in 3 days, in my opinion. Not the team that I've watched so far. They're not going to be heavily penalized for losing this games without Darren Peterson. And you play in the Big 12, so you have more than enough opportunities to get these games back. I would look at the first game of the season as a clean slate. And KU's first game of the season is December 2nd against UConn. That's their first game of the season. They play UConn on December 2nd. They play Missouri. I believe that's on December 7th is the date.
It's the Sunday.
The
Yep.
7th. So
then NC State on the back half of that.
And you play NC State, I believe, on the road. And NC State has
Raleigh,
Will Wade. So you if you know college basketball, you know Will Wade. He got NC State humming. And now you can cheat for real. You don't got a fake cheat like they were doing at LSU. You can just pay them openly and no one cares. Oh, NC State might win the national championship now with Will Wade because you know he going to do something above and beyond. I think you're overreacting just a little bit. Darren Peterson is around the team. He is dressed. He is still practicing with the team. He's going to play this season. And it's clear that he is hurt, in my opinion. You don't sign up to play college basketball and sign up to go to KU to then not play in these games. These are games in front of NBA scouts. Why would you not want to play at Madison Square Garden? Why would you not want to go to the Vegas trip and then play in front of NBA scouts? Like this is an NIL tournament. Of course you want to play in these things. So KU fans, I know I'm not the best messenger for this. I will tell you guys, just relax. Now, if Darren Peterson doesn't play in the UConn game and the Missouri game, we can have some conversations. And I would think in some ways you guys have the right to feel lied to because KU has made it seem like he's right around the corner. Just today, they made it seem like he's right around the corner. He's close. All right, well, you got 2 weeks. Take this week off, take next week off, and then come back in 2 Tuesdays and be ready to play against UConn. That's how I would say handle it if you're a KU fan.
Me and you see it's very similar. And I will, to your point about feel lied to, if he misses the UConn game, if he isn't back by one of the three, UConn, Missouri, NC State, because those 3 games.
I want him on the court against Missouri.
I agree. If he's not back by one of those 3 games, and it's like, oh, we think he's close to get ready for like Towson or whoever they have, then I'm going to feel like they're lying about the severity of the injury. It's been 3 weeks already. Another week off will be 4 weeks. At basically a month, I think your hamstring should be good to go to play basketball again. So UConn, Missouri, NC State, that's the window he has to be back on the floor.
All right. Well, we had a lot of fun this week. Hopefully you guys had a lot of fun. I will be working every day but Thursday next week. I will be here. Rob, you already know Rob. He a quitter. Rob, you only work on Monday?
Monday, Tuesday.
Oh, you work Tuesday too?
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, you know what? I appreciate that. I'm going to be here. It's football season, man.
Now,
it ain't no days off during football season for me.
Both shows are during the KU game in Vegas, so here is physical.
No, it's
mental.
I'm with you.
It's different.
I'm with you. You know what? That game against Syracuse, I might watch that one with you. I want to watch that game too. I want to see that one as well. All right, we'll catch up with you guys. Have a great weekend, and until then, I'll let Daniel Craig take you home.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, brought to you by DM Injury Law.